Catch the spirit of the game, the Hastings Sidebusters.
So proud of the guys, just kept clawing, kept fighting back, and I'm beyond proud of them.
He sends a high fly ball to deep right center field. No one's going to catch that. It is going way back, and that is out of here for a home run. Luke Cossey, a monster shot, clears the 405 sign. Our first home run at Duncan Field since 2023. Touch 'em all, Luke Cossey.
Our fans recognize that, and they know that it's a family atmosphere at our place, and that's what we like.
One run will score. Here comes a second run home. Johnston digging for third. He slides in, and the Sodbusters have a 3-0 lead as Weston Johnston scorches one over the head of Jake Daly.
All the credit to the guys in the dugout playing really, really hard, keeping it simple, throwing strikes on the mound, going right at kids, and then just keep it simple up at the plate. And all the credit to the guys for just busting their butts night in, night out.
Catch the spirit of the game, the Hastings Sidebusters.
Well, indeed, Monday's weather was too good to be true here in Hastings, because here we are on this Thursday evening with another poor weather day at Duncan Field, but we are still set to play 9 innings of baseball as the Hastings Sodbusters welcome a new opponent to town for the first time in the early going of this 2025 season. The Nebraska Prospects, one of the league's travel-only team, is here for a one game just this evening here at Duncan Field and against the Hastings Sodbusters. Thank you for joining us on this wet and dreary Thursday evening. Myself, Ryan Valenta. We've got Steve Stein here, as well as our producers and engineering guys, Mason, Connor, and Noah, set to bring you the first and only game of this series before the Sodbusters have the weekend off. Coming up on our pregame show on Sodbuster Baseball, we'll have our latest Sodbuster Spotlight. And Steve Stein catches up with one of the Sodbuster journeymen and Hastings College guys, Hastings natives, everything about Hastings, Mr. Marcus Miller, the left-handed pitcher who's had an excellent start in his season, and back for his third season with the Sodbusters. First pitch here is scheduled at our normal 6:35 p.m. start time at Duncan Field between the Hastings Sodbusters and the Nebraska Prospects, but how about the start for Hastings this year? Still undefeated at 7-0, looking to keep that mark tonight. The Nebraska Prospects have seen 5 games so far and come into today's game with a record of 2-3. The Prospects and the Sodbusters have had some great head-to-head battles over the past 2 seasons specifically, and we're hoping for another one on this Thursday evening. When we return, Steve Stein is with Marcus Miller, a part of our next Sodbusters Spotlight on Sodbuster Baseball.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. Now, my job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here.
I feel better already. The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
We feature Sodbuster Baseball. It's a Sodbuster Spotlight, an opportunity to hear from Marcus Miller, his third year with the Hastings Sodbusters. What a debut as we visit. It's after the first start of the summer. Talk about the way it came out in your debut for the Hastings Sodbusters.
I honestly wasn't expecting to pitch that good. I haven't honestly thrown a ball much. Summer's usually my time for disc golf, and I play pro in that, so kind of take my focus off baseball a little bit over the summer. But I was like, why not come out? I was going to pitch Memorial Day, so my a little bit more family could come out, but pitched Tuesday night because Monday got canceled, and honestly pitched way better than expected, and it was damn good.
Is that a career high for strikeouts?
Yes, it is. Me and James Velasquez, an old Hastings College teammate, were at 10 in Hastings College, and it was our career highs, and I just broke it, so it's kind of crazy that I broke it first start of the summer.
Pretty fun to visit with Marcus Miller as he makes his way through Hastings College. I want to hear more about disc golf. You're a professional disc golf player. How did that come about?
It would have been COVID year. Somebody who used to play here, Braden Mackey, we used to go out in the COVID year all the time and play out in the summer. And I was just like, I fell in love with this. And so I just started to play more and more. And throughout the summer, I just got better and better. And just like baseball, I got better. And I damn good now. I'm playing pro disc golf. So.
Is there any carryover from pitching to disc golf? Are the movements similar at all?
Usually when I play different people, it's always like, oh, you play baseball, don't you? And I'm like, yeah, college. And they're like, yeah, I can see the way you throw. But I don't really notice it because I throw from a different arm slot when I throw a Frisbee compared to when I throw a baseball.
What's the long-term aspirations for disc golf? I mean, professional, do you travel all over?
Not really all over yet because, I mean, it's kind of expensive here and there. But depending on how I do this year, next year, I guess we'll see. But the goal is to maybe go on the tour, what's called. So that'd be really cool.
Meanwhile, you're ready for your senior year at Hastings College. Take us through the academics. How's the studying going? I think the last time we knew a physical education major?
Yep, still physical education major. Was going to go back a fifth year after next year and student teach, but I actually found a way to student teach next year during the spring, so then I don't have to go back and pay a little bit more money. But yeah, I'll student teach next year in the spring, which will kind of be a hassle with baseball, but we'll make it work. So.
And then it's kind of off to the real world. You kind of see the end of baseball then with this summer and next spring?
Yes, it's going to be sad. I don't know. It's going to be a toll, but I think I'm planning on going to go into coaching. I'm coaching this summer, too, for the Legion team here, so it'll always be something I want to do. So coaching will help a little bit, but still going to miss playing it.
And as I recall, a good wrestler, too. Did you think about doing that aspect of it, or would you rather coach baseball?
I actually coached middle school wrestling in the fall with my dad up in the middle school at Hastings, so I don't know. I could see both, but at the same time, I like wrestling a little bit more coaching because it's a little bit easier, but I like them both.
Did you have anybody in your past that kind of influenced you on making you want to become a teacher or coach?
Yeah, so I went to Alcott Elementary here in Hastings, and the teacher that actually taught me in elementary PE there is my advisor at the college. So I would say she probably had the most impact on me, but I guess old teammates I used to wrestle with are now like coaches around here. So, I mean, they've always had an impact. And Nate Story around here was somebody that I always looked up to just because of a great person and also was just a great coach. And Marquardt, same way. I just coached with Story this summer, and I love it. So
we're talking with Marcus Miller. You got so much stuff going on. Like, you work full-time. You come here every fifth day. You've got the professional disc golf thing. What do you prioritize here in the summer?
I mean, honestly, I took a step away from Amigos actually at the beginning of May. And then I'm mowing full-time this summer. I mean, disc golf and baseball. I mean, I just try to prioritize each stuff each day. I guess it goes day by day.
And do you kind of like the fact that you don't have to go on the road, but you're kind of the rent-a-pitcher. You can come out and focus on that to kind of keep yourself fresh for the fall?
Yeah, I actually do like it. Usually I just reach out to the head coach. Like this year it's Josh, so I reached out to him last night, and he was like, yeah, I'll let you pitch. And I was like, okay, why not? And it was my 6th day of rest, basically, so I was ready to go.
And Hastings College, you're going to have another new coach this year. I know it's been kind of difficult in terms of the way it's gone, wins and losses, but have you learned something from every different coach you've had as you've gone through life?
Yes, I have. Just the way to attack the game on a mound, just like the way to throw each pitch, way to attack each hitter. I mean, each coach has looked at it different. I haven't really met this coach full one-on-one yet, just because it's a little different for him. He's doing broadcasting and stuff, but I can't wait to learn some more stuff from him, especially with his background that he's had. So
the expectations for Hastings College, I know the wins were few and far between. You had yourself a really good year. You have quite a few guys who came back from last year's team.
I think so, but we just recently actually lost our center fielder to University of Northern Colorado, so it makes me extremely sad. I was super close with him, but I'm not sure about people coming back for sure because I don't really talk to a lot of them, but it seems like he's bringing a lot of recruits in, so which will be good, and hopefully we have a good year for my senior year.
Are you kind of going to be one of the leaders? I mean, you had a pretty decent year during a year when the team struggled. Did you kind of see yourself as one of the leaders on that pitching staff?
Yeah, this year, and I just want to take a bigger step next year. I mean, it will be my 4th year in the program, 4th year starter actually, so it'll be really cool. Hopefully I can make a big impact on the new people and just be a leader as much as I can, even if I weigh $140. It doesn't matter.
Have you increased the velocity a little bit?
I wouldn't say a whole lot, but a little bit. I mean, I've put on, 15, 20 pounds, almost 160, so I'm gaining weight slowly, but I want to be to 180 at some point in life.
Do you see yourself gaining more command, though, as you've matured?
Yeah, I feel a little bit more control with all my pitches. I mean, I can locate any pitch in any count, so I mean, just locating each pitch is good, and I don't really care about how hard I throw. I care about spotting up more than anything.
It's Marcus Miller in his 3rd summer playing for his hometown team,
That's our Sodbuster Spotlight. I'm Steve Stein.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate woodbat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to hastingssodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters Baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Welcome back to Duncan Field. It's Ryan Valenta and Steve Stein here on this Thursday evening as the Hastings Sodbusters continue their preparations for their game against the Nebraska Prospects this evening. We had a little bit of rain in the area earlier that made it so that, they had to get a text earlier today about confirming that the game was on, but fortunately the rain has laid off for the most part. Just some very steady light sprinkles throughout the area in the afternoon, but right now nothing really falling in the sky. According to the radar, the Weather Channel, the Tri-City neighbors up to the north and the west, Kearney and Grand Island, are getting some pretty good rain right now. I actually had a buddy of mine who works at a TV station here text me, "You guys going to play in this weather?" I'm like, "Where are you at?" It is not raining at all. He said he's driving back from Kearney and it was raining pretty good, but fortunately Hastings is good so far on the weather, but we are still set to play here. The Prospects come to town, their first game against the Hastings Sodbusters this year, but like I mentioned before, both teams having excellent head-to-head contests last year. It was Hastings having the Prospects number last year. They were 7-2 against Nebraska in 9 games and outscored them by a total of 64 runs to just 30 runs, but then in 2023, that was when the Nebraska Prospects pretty much ran the league, the Independence League, as a travel-only team when they finished 25-9. And Hastings is actually the team that gave them the most trouble, and it was towards the end of the season. The Prospects had the 2023 season advantage, 5 wins and 4 losses. Hastings ended up sweeping them towards the end of the season, which was an eye-opener if you remember anything about that 2023 Hastings team, which was a 17-35 team, and you just wondered how bad that the Nebraska Prospects were going to beat you every time they came into town, but the Sodbusters made most of their end of the season back in 2023. So Hastings on top right now and on top this season, 7-0 record, best start in program history. Coming into this season, Sodbusters hadn't even started 3-0 in a season before. They'd only won their first 2 games of the season in a row, and now off to a 7 consecutive win start. Their last game on Monday right here at Duncan Field, that walk-off magic win against the Fremont Moo. It looked like Fremont was going to win that game all the way, especially after scoring 4 runs in the top of the first inning. But Hastings pieced together 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th on a few hits and then a couple of dribbling balls that were placed in the perfect spot to allow Hastings to get the walk-off win over Fremont. They were supposed to play in Fremont on Tuesday, but bad weather postponed that game. A makeup date has still yet to be announced. Sodbusters getting yesterday off, and now here for their single game against the Nebraska Prospects. And then Duncan Field will play host to a Junior Legion tournament this weekend for some of the Hastings area Legion teams. Ryan Valenta, Steve Stein ahead of the first pitch today. Steve, is like I've been saying, 7-0 sounds really weird, but lots of good things have happened. But always nice to see a new opponent on the field. You and I, we've been scrambling to find these guys because the Prospects, they're called the Prospects for a reason. They're from all over Nebraska, and some guys coming in and out of the program year in or month in and month out, just not expecting on what you're going to see. But good to see a new opponent and excited for this game today. What you got for us?
Well, it's a fascinating as you mentioned, preparation, particularly when the team that you're playing decides to change all their numbers from what they had in the stats. So this is going to be a little bit of a challenge, a little bit of a work in progress. If they have subs, we may have to go down and ask. So this is not Major League Baseball. We're going to do our best. And a lot of Omaha area kids primarily, and a couple of dudes, most notably Avery Moore, a guy who's now at Purdue. The Millard West grad is off to a great start this season, as he's already had 4 multi-hit games in the early going for this squad from Nebraska. They, of course, play all their games on the road, had to make that long road trip out there. So you kind of feel their best days are probably in front of them because they're still getting some of their guys, and they'll have Drew Borner make his debut today. He played pretty extensively at the University of Nebraska-Omaha this past year, another Millard West guy. So it could be a different kind of team, which has begun the season 2-3, and a team which gave up 22 runs in their last outing, 22-7 against Spearfish, and the only game they were able to get in that particular series after they played a 4-game series against Casper to begin the year. So don't know what you're going to get, but if you're Hastings Sodbusters, just come out and kind of keep doing what you're doing. They're playing in the rain. They're used to that. This is kind of typical Sodbuster weather, unfortunately, and an opportunity to come out and see if you can get it done. You really want to get it done because you have the weekend off and what could be basically the series of the season in the first half when Hastings will play Casper 7 days in a row. Casper, the defending IBL champs.
Yeah, and especially with the time off this week when summer baseball is usually you've got 7 games in 8 days or something similar of that nature. The Sodbusters were supposed to have 7 straight home games in 7 days to open the season back in early May, but a couple of rainouts in there that made that so that it didn't exactly happen quite like that, and then another rainout happening in Fremont on Tuesday. Like I mentioned, looking up at the schedule for the rest half of the first season, the first half of the rest of the first half, they've got the weekend off and then 7 straight games against Casper from next Monday through Sunday. They'll be in Casper Monday through Thursday and then here back at Duncan Field on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They'll finish up the month with a singular game against Oahe, some games, 3 games on the road against Spearfish, a singular game against the Prospects, the Plainsmen, and the Casper Spuds, and Fremont will round out the month of June. Again, in the Independence League, to make the playoffs, you win the half of the season. The 2 winners of the first halves of the season meet in the Independence League playoff, a best-of-5 series at the end of July and the start of August. Let's introduce today's starting lineups now, first for both sides. We'll go with the visitors of the Nebraska Prospects first. Their lineup today will be Mike Valdivia batting first and playing shortstop. Finn Hochstein will bat second and play third base. Avery Moore bats third and plays left field. Corey Kozad is the cleanup hitter and the catcher. Drew Borner is the second baseman and batting fifth. Aiden Martin is the designated hitter and will bat sixth. Elijah Russell will bat seventh and play first base. Jackson Schumacher will bat eighth and play right field. And Sean Robinson will bat ninth and play center field. Cody Cizik will get the start on the mound for the Nebraska Prospects today. They're under the direction of Gabe Shemwell, the head coach, Gretna native, for the Nebraska Prospects. And now we'll go down to the field and play our national anthem. We'll have the Sodbusters starting lineup after the playing of our national anthem here at Duncan Field. How about we play some ball? Let's do just that, as the Sodbusters will take the field, and they will do so behind their starter tonight, Creighton Jacobitz, the Hastings native and Adams Central alum, will be set to make his third start of the Sodbuster season. And their batting order from top to bottom real quick as well is Drew Vega playing second base and leading off. Jaden Shabry plays short, bats second. Luke Cossey, the right fielder, batting third. Weston Johnston, the third baseman, batting fourth. Jackson Crane, the left fielder, batting fifth. Graham Hilton, the catcher, batting sixth. Jude Greaves, the first baseman, batting seventh. Jet Hannaford, the center fielder, batting eighth. And Chase Miller, the designated hitter, batting ninth. Well, how sweet of a start it has been for Creighton Jacobitz in his first 2 outings as a Sodbuster. Something that very little pitchers can probably say they have ever done. 13 innings of hitless baseball. Comfortable saying it, Steve. It's over 2 games. You know, usually it's a game. He's got a no-hitter going through X amount of innings. It's over a couple of games, and we'll see how Creighton does tonight. 13 innings, no hits, just 2 unearned runs, 6 walks, a whopping 17 strikeouts, most on the team. He's also hit 6 batters, so it's been very feast or famine, but mostly feast for Mr. Creighton Jacobitz on the mound, and they will look to have success in the yellow uniforms tonight. The lefty will try and shut down this Nebraska prospects offense.
Be fascinating to see how he does today. I mean, my early prediction is somebody's going to get a hit off him. That's just my early prediction for tonight's contest. You can't keep going like this. Hopefully it's not a lot of them. And how well can you handle the baseball tonight? It's going to be a little damp. Are you going to have feel for every pitch today? And plus you're going to be facing a prospect squad, which has some pretty good batters up and down the lineup. And we'll see how it goes for the Adams Central graduate today, Creighton Jacobitz.
Jacobitz last out last Thursday, a week ago, went 6 innings against Owyhee, got the win. Only allowed the 2 unearned runs and struck out 8 batters. He's had very similar lines in both of his startings. First pitch in there for strike 1 to lead off the game to the batter, Mike Valdivia, the Nebraska prospects shortstop. Valdivia, one of the Omaha natives, went to Millard West and currently looking for his next stop at school right now. He's also making his prospects debut today. This is the prospects' 6th game of the season. They come into today with a 2-3 record. Breaking ball catches the top of the zone, according to home plate umpire Kelton Schott. The field umpire today is Daddy-O Shot. Think he calls him Daddy-O? Probably not. We'll don't need to think about that. Just outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Back-to-back game. We've had the Schott family as the umpiring crew here at Duncan Field.
Just picturing the umpires meeting. You got anything to add, Daddy-O? I don't know. I just don't hear it. But
probably doesn't roll off the tongue too well to them, but only one way to find out. Well, the counts run full from Jacobitz to Valdivia. Again, we mentioned most of the prospects guys from the Omaha area. Sprinkle in some Lincoln guys and a couple guys at Waverly and the Columbus area. Payoff pitch is ball 4 down low and inside. Valdivia is the first base runner on the game on a leadoff walk.
Jacobitz doesn't seem to bother him. Runners or no base runners. We've seen him battle through. I mean, we talked about no hits, but he's walked 6. He's hit 6 in his first 2 starts. So base runners not really surprising when Jacobitz is out there, even though he hasn't given up a hit.
Jacobitz, Cloud County Community College guy, pulls the string on the first pitch and gets a swing and the miss from Finn Hochstein. Hochstein, one of the guys from outside of the Omaha area. He is a Seward native, played for the Seward Blue Jays in Class B in Nebraska, a team that was oh so close to making the state tournament this year. And I actually remember calling his name a couple of years ago when the Seward Blue Jays came to play Hastings High. He's quickly ahead 0-2. Ground ball too short to second for 1 on to first. Wild throw and in safely is Hochstein. Nice field by Shabry. Maybe didn't get the best read on it. Looked like it was harder off the bat than I initially thought, but they're able to get the lead runner at second. Hochstein at first on the fielder's choice.
Gave a pretty good ball to handle for Drew Vega, and it just got away from him. Like you say, you just wonder if you're going to have any feel for the ball because it comes off the wet turf, and you wonder if that was a factor in that high throw. And a really nice job for Jude Greaves to make sure that didn't get by and allow a runner to advance.
Hochstein did get down the line pretty well, so give some credit to him. Now here's Avery Moore. And the first pitch to him well outside. Avery Moore, today's left fielder, another one of the Omaha natives and Division I guys. Played his spring ball at Purdue University. Yes, at Purdue, the Boilermakers. Appeared in 32 games for Purdue and hit .276 in his spring season. Backdoor breaking ball called a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Moore's also had a nice start, probably the best start offensively to the prospect season. 9 for 20, a .450 batting average. 5 of those hits going for extra bases. Line drive up the middle, and there is the first hit. It's a seeing eye single, and that's streak of 13 1/3 innings of hitless baseball for Creighton Jacobitz comes to an end. The first hit he has given up at the start of his 3rd start of the season.
Just verifying no action yet in the Sodbuster bullpen. So we're going to go with him for now.
Well, Creighton Jacobitz is human after all. He's not just a strikeouts, walks, and hit batters machine. The first single he has given up a pretty remarkable line, but all good things must come to an end. So it's 1st and 2nd with 1 out for Corey Kozad. He is the backstop for the Nebraska Prospects. Played ball at Southeast Community College. 12 games for the Bobcats. Now, if I'm not wrong, Steve, they're the Bobcats now, but they used to be the Storm. Is that right?
You got it. Change of mascot.
Which rolls off the tongue better, the Southeast Bobcats or the Southeast Storm?
I like Bobcats because Storm, is it plural? Is it singular? Are they the Storm? Or, those kind of like when we used to have Nebraska Danger indoor football. Is it are they the danger or the danger is? From an English standpoint, those kind of mascots drive me up the wall.
That is a very good point you make right there.
The Storm is, the Storm are. Yeah, I don't know.
The Storm was.
Yes,
the Storm could have been.
Yes,
you just never
the Storm
know.
were. Yes, I don't know, plural or singular.
Well, Corey Kozad at the plates, beg your pardon. Takes just a bit low and maybe a bit outside. Kozad is a returner from this Nebraska Prospects squad. He played 24 games with the team last year and hit .231. His 18 hits on the team were tied for the 3rd most. Strike at the knees, 2 balls and 1 strike from Creighton Jacobitz. Defense behind him today. From left to right field, it's Jackson Crane, Jet Hannaford, and Luke Cossey. From 3rd to 1st, Weston Johnston, Jaden Shabry, Drew Vega, and Jude Greaves. Graham Hilton, the catcher. Just misses on the backdoor breaking ball, and the count is run 3 balls and 1 strike. Just getting underway in this only game of the series between the Prospects and the Sodbusters. They will not play more than a 1-game series until mid-July. 3-1 hit pretty well to right field. Racing back is Luke Cossey. He's got room. He makes the catch. Runner at second tags and heads to 3rd in safely. The runner will stay put at 1st. So it'll be runners at the corners with 2 outs.
Good job for Jacobitz to come back and get Kozad there. The wind blowing toward that right field corner, so not an easy play for Luke Cossey. But he was able to make it look easy and a chance to get out of this with no damage done if Jacobitz can get Drew Borner.
So 1st and 3rd, and Drew Borner, today's beer batter. Sodbusters have done a pretty good job at retiring the beer batter on strikes at least once in the game, and he gets ahead of him, 0-1 on the first pitch.
Kind of rolling the dice here, picking the D1 guy on the other team.
Drew Borner, the University of Nebraska Omaha Maverick, and he had an excellent season with the Mavs, 39 games and a .308 average, 37 hits for the team in the Summit League. Well, Jacobitz has gotten ahead in the count, 0-2 with 2 outs. Hochstein's at 3rd, Moore at 1st. Jacobitz looking for the K for the beer batter. Big lead at first. Runner not going though. Sprayed into right field. Cossey over to his left. He's got plenty of room to run it down and make the catch. Beer batter is retired, unfortunately not on strikes, but the Sodbusters will take the scoreless inning in the first. The Prospects leave 2. They get a hit. They do not score. Hastings will try and break the scoreboard first in the bottom of the first on Sodbuster Baseball.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
You're watching Sodbuster Baseball. No score after the top of the first inning on a wet and, well, not yet rainy evening. Again, if you're just joining us, we are hoping that we are out of the danger zone here in Hastings. And we'll hope to get this 9-inning game in unscathed. Well, coming up in the bottom of the first, it's the top of the Sodbuster order. Drew Vega, Jaden Shabry, and Luke Cossey, the mainstays of this team so far. We've seen most of the guys we've kind of starting to see an everyday lineup for head coach Josh Printer's squad. Drew Vega and Luke Cossey, definitely two of those guys. But Steve, like we talked about, the Sodbuster team just so filled with depth. It's got to be almost a nightmare. I know you're, as a coach, you're excited to have so many guys, but how do you decide who plays in what day with so much talent on the team?
Particularly when you have off days. So if you're playing every day, everybody can kind of get enough at bats. But you play today, you don't play for 3 days. It's kind of difficult to do that. But it's a nice problem to have for Josh Printer when you're picking guys. Okay, I'm going to set my 400 hitter today and bat a 300 hitter. You'd much rather be in that situation than hit. I'm going to bat my 085 or my 124 hitter. So that's you like that decision that you have to make if you're Josh Printer at this point.
Well, on the mound for the Nebraska Prospects, it's Cody Cizik, who is a recent high school graduate of Papillion La Vista South. So he is getting right on the college train here, pitching for the Nebraska Prospects. Commit to Northwestern College, the Red Raiders, at the NAIA level. Drew Vega, he gets scraped by the pitch as that brushes off a upper ligament. So 2 pitches in, the Sodbusters have their first base runner on an HBP from Drew Vega.
Take that, see if they turn Drew Vega loose, a team which is 22 out of 28 in stolen bases this year. The Prospects just 6 for 8 in their 5 games so far.
So Cody Cizik, an inauspicious start for him. One of the Omaha natives from the Papillion area. Strike 1 is outside to Jaden Shabry. Just getting underway in this bottom of the first inning in the first matchup head-to-head between the Prospects and the Sodbusters this season. Vega leaning a bit at first base. Not going. Popped up, foul territory, and out of play. Jaden Shabry, he's another one of the guys that just graduated high school. Boulder Creek, California native, and he's had a nice few games as a Sodbuster so far. 5 games, 5 hits, including a triple and 2 RBIs. Shabry down 0-2, Cizik way ahead. Lays off the fastball to make it 1-2. Look at the numbers for the Sodbuster offense in 7 games. 288 batting average, 63 hits, just about averaging 9 hits per game. They've gotten 9 extra base hits, and most of them have been triples. Stat you don't see too often. Vega's on the move, pitches the ball outside. The throw down from the catcher is right on the money, and Vega is out. Gunned down by the catcher, Corey Kozad, who put it right on the second base bag. Vega caught stealing.
Because Vega picked a perfect pitch to go on. It was a curveball, kind of out of the zone, a little down, and you mentioned Kozad making the throw, and that may eliminate or limit Hastings' aggressiveness as the game goes forward.
And another batter hits. Shabry wears it off the shoulder this time. So back-to-back HBPs, but for Vega, who just got caught stealing, bet he wished maybe he would have stayed put at first base now. It could have been 2 on and nobody out.
But you're going to live and die with that aggressive nature, and sometimes it's going to work your way, sometimes it's not. So now, it'll be interesting to see. Shabry's got decent speed, but I don't know if I'm testing Kozad at this point.
I will wait until at least the second inning, I would say, to try another on Mr. Kozad, who just showed off the gun, but Shabry hit by the pitch. And next up is the big bomber, Luke Cossey. One of the few to send it over the walls of spacious Duncan Field, which was against a game against Oahe earlier last week. He has struck the ball pretty well like that right there. Going way back is the center fielder, Robinson, near the 408 sign. He does make the catch. The spacious walls of Duncan Field hold that one, but my oh my, Luke Cossey is just barreling almost every ball he swings at in this past couple of weeks.
And the wind not helping, blowing from the left field corner to the right field corner. We'll see if Weston Johnston can find a way to bring that runner around.
So with 2 outs and the runner at first, another guy who has shown some serious power at the plate as well, Weston Johnston, the Van Alstyne, Texas native. Just finished up his freshman season at Arkansas Tech. Line drive off the glove of the third baseman and fair. Going to third, here comes Shabry. The throw in there is high and gets away. Now Johnston on his way to second. The throw is bobbled. Nobody's covering home. Shabry is safe. And the ball gets away into the dugout, and that allows Johnston to go all the way to third base. And the Sodbusters strike first in the first inning on an unconventional way as the prospects throw the ball around in the infield.
Little snowball fight there, and the Sodbusters, the aggressive nature. You kind of wonder when Shabry went to third. Pretty good base running there, and then tremendous base running to come home, realizing that no one was covering. And the Sodbusters take the 1-0 lead. 2 errors on the play for the prospects.
Well, let's see if Jackson Crane can compound on the prospects' mistakes. He will keep that ball inside to make it 1 ball and no strikes. Good to see Jackson back in a Sodbuster uniforms. One of the returning guys from the Arkansas area from last year. He sends a line drive into deep right center field. Going over is Schumacher. He can't make the catch. Another run is in. Crane's got 2. Does he have 3? The relay coming in from right field. Crane with a dive. He is safe. 2 games, 2 triples for Jackson Crane in his return to Duncan Field.
And the 6th triple for the Sodbusters. They have 3 doubles and a home run. Amazing stat, as this has been the home of triples. I always think of this as a doubles ballpark, but Hastings has found the right center field gap for a lot of triples this year.
Well, the Sodbusters take advantage here as they have an early 2-0 lead. Johnston comes across, and heck of an effort by Jackson Schumacher out in right field. Just out of his reach of making a spectacular catch. Well, now it's the 6th man to come to the plate in the inning, Graham Hilton. Mustang, Oklahoma native. Finished up his 2nd season with Northern Oklahoma Enid. Strike called on the outside corner, according to Kelton Schott. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hilton trying to find his groove with the Sodbusters this summer. Just 2 hits in 4 games for him so far. Strikeout ball has been the issue for him. And watches strike 2 go by on the backdoor breaking ball. Jackson Crane at third after his RBI triple. Also, a couple batters ago, Weston Johnston was officially ruled a double, and the run scored on an error. 1-2 pitch, down low, and a good take by Hilton. Always tough to take those 2-strike breaking balls that dive off the table. especially when you've watched a couple of strikes go by, and probably the main thing on your mind is not getting punched out by the umpire. Deuces wild. Way high, ball 3. So Hilton has worked the count full, trying to get on base and keep this Sodbuster line moving. Saw the prospects last year. They had a lot of younger guys, meaning high school graduates and recent freshmen. Ground ball to second base, and scooping it up and making the play is Drew Borner. The Sodbusters will get the lead early in the first inning on a pair of extra base hits, 3 total in the inning, and we go to the top of the second. Hastings up 2-0 on this Thursday evening at Duncan Field.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner. A friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner.
Sodbuster baseball. Close-up of our starting pitcher, Creighton Jacobitz, looking for another scoreless inning. Stranded 2 base runners in the top of the first inning on first and third. And he will go up against the 6, 7, and 8 hitters to lead off against the Nebraska Prospects squad. Well, Steve, so many times this season, it's been the opponent scoring first. I know in the opening series, the opposing team scored first in half the games. The Sodbusters came back to win it, but as a starting pitcher, it's got to give you all the confidence in the world to go into the second inning with a healthy lead.
You bet, especially when prospects had their opportunities, getting a couple of base runners on, and to see your offense come right back. The extra base hit from Johnston and Crane, the aggressive nature on the base paths leading to 2 errors, and 2 runs come around before it's all said and done.
2 runs, 2 hits, and 2 errors on defense made by the prospects in that Sodbuster inning. And here is Aiden Martin, the designated hitter, will bat first against Creighton Jacobitz. Check swing, and they said he went. Home plate umpire Kelton Schott says that Martin went too far around. Martin, one of the few not Nebraska guys. He is from Council Bluffs. But we've seen the prospects venture even farther out. This time they check down to first, and again a swing on the attempt by Martin. So it's 0-2 on a pair of check swings.
It's Council Bluffs. It's just across the river. We may just go ahead and take over Council Bluffs and make it Nebraska at some point.
Call it Omaha 2. I don't know, something of that.
Omaha East.
Well, what I always have friends call it is a Council-tucky, because it's a kind of a, I don't know, southern version of Omaha, more, I don't know how to describe it, but Council-tucky is what I've heard it. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Pulled the string. Jacobitz gets the strikeout on a nice breaking ball to start off the second inning, his first punch-out of the evening.
I assume that probably is referencing, they must have a lot of horse racing in Council Bluffs. Yeah,
that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah.
Oh, Elijah Russell, the next batter for the Nebraska Prospects. A Waverly native. Played ball with the Waverly Vikings. And a guy who is in the transfer portal right now, but has some time at Southeast Community College. He's still looking for his first hit in 3 games so far. He is 0 for 9 and has struck out 7 times. Jacobitz trying to continue that streak. Pumps in strike 1 at the knees, 1-1. Russell, today's first baseman on a Nebraska Prospects team that has hit just .226 in their first 5 games. 36 hits. So just a hair over 7. The offense hasn't been the horrible problem for the Prospects. It has just been their pitching staff not able to keep them in games. Ground ball that's foul down the first base line. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Prospects had their season opening series against the defending champion Casper Spuds and actually went 2-2. Their wins were 7-5 and 6-3. Their losses 10-8 and 12-4. Their only other game at Spearfish last Saturday, they lost 22-7. 2-2, just a tad inside. The count runs full. And unlike a lot of teams that maybe have a good mix of earned and unearned runs, the Nebraska Prospects, all but 5 of their runs that they have allowed this season, which is 52, have been earned runs. Full count pitch, ground ball to the shortstop, Shabry. On a couple of hops, sets his feet and lobs it over to first for the second out of the inning. 2 up and 2 down for Jacobitz and the Sodbusters.
Shabry, good aggressiveness coming in, playing the hop just the way he wanted to, and that allowed him to take his time on that throw. And you mentioned the Prospects, giving up a lot of earned runs. That 22-7 game, 25 hits in 6 at-bats for Spearfish in a run rule victory over Nebraska.
Like you said, keep in mind that was only in 7 innings as well. They didn't even play the complete 9. Bases empty, 2 outs for the 8th place batter, Jackson Schumacher. Another new addition to the Independence League this year. There is now a 10-run rule after 7 innings. In past seasons, they just said, play on, guys, and run up the score however much you feel like it. 1-0 to Schumacher, catches the bottom of the zone for strike 1. Another one of the Iowa guys from Trainer, Iowa. College ball at Kirkwood Community College. Jacobitz with the 1-1, just a bit outside. Curious to see how Jacobitz, or where he's off to this next season. He's played his 2 years at Cloud County Community College. Caught up with him in one of our first Sodbuster Spotlights of the year. Said he is still considering his options for the fall. 2-1, breaking ball whacked past the third base head coach Gabe Shemwell down there. He wanted nothing to do with that, and I wouldn't either on that rocket shot.
And it's fascinating. I mean, as he looks for his next college stop, there could be other colleges getting involved if he keeps putting up numbers like this. How's the summer going for you? I allowed my first hit in 3 games today. Bummer.
Oh, there, that one got back to the screen. Jacobitz immediately looking at his hand, and that one likely slipped out of the clutches. So it's 3 balls and 2 strikes to Jackson Schumacher. Jacobitz bidding for a 1-2-3 inning, potentially here in this second. And here comes the payoff. Strike 3 at the knees. Backwards K for Jacobitz, as he has book and strikeouts to end the second inning. Another scoreless inning for the Prospects. Remains at a 2-0 game here at Duncan Field.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate woodbat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here.
I feel better already. The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Never a dull moment in the broadcast booth at Duncan Field, where we go to the bottom of the second inning. The Sodbusters up 2-0 against the Prospects, trying to keep their perfect 7-0 record intact, and just get keep some legs loose. As for the second straight weekends, Hastings gets Friday through Sunday off, primarily because after they get that off, they're not going to have an off day in over 2 weeks. 2.5 weeks from June the 9th through the 26th, they do not have a single day off, so they are getting them all burned up here early on in the season. It's Jude Greaves to lead things off for the Hastings Sodbusters. in this bottom half of the second inning against the pitcher Cody Cizik. Lost control of that one. And again, no precipitation falling here at Duncan Field, but just the humidity in the air, the wet turf likely playing factors on some grips from pitchers today. Jude Greaves, Oak Grove, Missouri native. Ball at Metropolitan Community College. Didn't play in this spring, but he did play in 2024 in 11 games. And he went 10 for 23 at the plate. So Greaves back on the baseball grind after not playing in this spring season. 2-1 from Cizik. Watches it go by on the outside corner for 2-2. Been a rough go for Jude in his first 3 games as a Sodbuster so far. Still looking for his first hit in 9 at-bats. Cizik looking for the strikeout and throws it behind the batter. Greaves kind of with a concerned look out to the mounds. That's got to be tough for opposing hitters today with this wet conditions. Going to see a lot of slippery baseballs here, which we just saw. Cizik from the wind on the full count pitch. That one is cracked to center field. Going back is the center fielder Robinson, and he makes the catch out there. Second Sodbuster to put a pretty good piece of wood on it out to deep center field, but not get rewarded.
2 hits so far in the game, and very easily could be 2 more on solidly struck balls. Into the wind, though. Winds out of the northeast at 7 miles an hour, 61 degrees at game time.
Spacious Duncan Field, 370 down the left field line, 367 to right. It's 405 to the alleys and 408 to dead center field. Depending on where you're playing, those couple of balls by Cassian Greaves could have been closer to other ballparks' center field walls. Here's Jet Hannaford, the 8th place Sodbuster hitter, taking over the center field position today. Hits it softly on the ground to third base. Over is Finn Hochstein. The throw just does beat Hannaford as he goes awkwardly across the bag, and he is out number 2.
Can't take your time with Jet Hannaford running, and a nice play over there at third base for Finn Hochstein, because Jet can move. Guys, he's one of those guys, how do you keep him out of the lineup? 385, 5 for 6 stolen bases, but he's such a weapon to throw in as a pinch hitter, too, so nice guy to have.
It's like we mentioned, just so much depth on the team. It's hard to choose who gets in the starting 9 each day. So 2 up, 2 down, and Chase Miller watches strike 1 go by Cody Cizik. He's looked pretty good so far, the 78 to 80 mile an hour range with a changeup and a curveball, just a tad bit slower. There's the curveball right there, and it misses low and away. Chase Miller, Walkerton, Indiana native, one of the Saginaw Valley State boys. Just finished up his freshman season for the Cardinals. Chopper foul down the third base line. Miller in 2 games this summer, 2 for 5. He's also seen an appearance on the mound, too, an accounting major at Saginaw Valley State. 3 hits in 10 games for him. Trying to make a case to get him into the everyday starting lineup next year. Cizik ahead 1-2 and bounced it in there for ball 2. Defense behind today. Before we forget from left to right, it's Avery Moore, Sean Robinson, and Jackson Schumacher. From third to first, Finn Hochstein, Mike Valdivia, Drew Borner, and Elijah Russell. The catcher, Corey Kozad. Outside to make it a 3-ball and 2-strike count. Josh Printer does the head coaching and third base coaching duties. Corey Caranda, the assistant coach, down at first base. Count is run full 3-2 to Chase Miller, the 9th hole hitter. The pitch. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Borderline pitch goes in the direction of the prospects, and it's a 3 up, 3 down inning for both squads in the second. It remains 2-0. Third inning headed your way from Duncan Field after these messages.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen, a tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
2 innings complete at Duncan Field. Sodbusters with their 2-0 lead thanks to a couple of runs in the first inning. And now on the top of the third inning, it's Steve Stein.
Thank you very much, Ryan Valenta. Big salute to Mason Hendricks. Doing a really good job as our producer today as the Hastings Sodbusters going to be facing the 9-1-2 up there with Creighton Jacobitz out there. Did show his humanity, giving up his first hit in 13-plus innings back in the first. He also walked a man, but got it settled down. He's set down 5 in a row, and he will face Sean Robinson. Robinson will step into the right-handed box for the Nebraska Prospects. They have a variety of uniform combos. They go with the black jerseys today, powder blue numbers, and the white pants. They have red. They have a lot of different colors. Based out of the Omaha area, but get most of their kids from that area. But as Ryan mentioned, some Iowa kids. For a while, they had an Arkansas pipeline that they fueled this summer team with. Pitch misses. Count goes to 2 balls and no strikes on Sean Robinson. Robinson getting his opportunity, batting in the number 9 spot today for the Nebraska Prospects. Big swing, no contact as he went after the 2-0 off-speeder, and it's now 2 balls and 1 strike on Robinson. Trying to find a way to get on as they had their leadoff man aboard back in inning number 1, but fielder's choice grounder eliminated that. There was a single later in the inning. And a swing and a miss here as Jacobitz pulled the string. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sean Robinson out of St. Cloud, going to St. Cloud State. He's a Scott Catholic guy. 2 for 15 in the early going, a 133 batting average for him. And swings and misses after a 2-0 count. Jacobitz comes all the way back to get his 3rd strikeout in the last 2 innings.
Not sure if there was a pitch in that sequence that Robinson disagreed with. Saw him on his way back to the dugout. Did have a couple of words for the home plate umpire on his way back. Probably in disagreement with one of the pitches, perhaps.
And back to the top of the order for Mike Valdivia. Walked his first time up, and big swing, no contact. No balls and a strike on Valdivia, making his Prospects debut. Millard West graduate and looking for a college. So these 2 guys battling it out here, both seeking their next college stop. Creighton Jacobitz after 2 years at Cloud County. Big swing, and way out in front of that one, it's quickly 2 strikes on Valdivia, as it really feels like Creighton Jacobitz settling in. Gave up a walk, gave up a single in the first, but worked around that. Set him down 1-2-3 in the second, and he's quickly in front. No balls and 2 strikes. Comes inside with a fastball and misses 1-2 on Valdivia. A lot of Millard West guys on this team. Millard West, one of the powers in the metro area. And you can make a living with summer baseball just with metro kids who are going to college. 1-2 pitch, and that one inside. It got away. They said he went around, and he will reach first on a strikeout.
That didn't hit him?
I thought it hit him, and I think that's what... Or was there a foul ball? It seemed like there was double contact somehow. Was he hit by the pitch? Did he foul it off? He thinks, or he at least took off like he struck out and reached first. Although he was a little bit confused. He delayed. And the shots are going to talk things over. Kelton will go out and visit with, as Ryan called him earlier, Daddy-O, to see what...
Forget that ever happened.
What did you see? What did you see, Daddy-O?
Well, we're going frame by frame on our live stream here, and that looked like it got him. It hit him in the back foot. Otherwise, it took just a weird ricochet off of Graham Hilton's glove, and I think they are going to
award him first. They say he went around and that it did not hit him, so he will reach on a wild pitch strikeout, so there will be a runner at first and 1 man out, I believe. Or they say he's, well, I don't know.
I thought I saw a fist saying out. And I think that is what they did call, because Valdivia's taking his helmet off and he's lingering around, but he's come off the base, and now head coach Gabe Shemwell's getting an explanation. But just off what I can decipher from our replay of the live stream, it does look like the pitch hit the back leg of Valdivia. So if you swing and miss and it hits you, it's an automatic dead ball and you are out. So no chance to advance to first base on a dropped third strike, because it just becomes a dead ball then. I mean, that call can go either way. It also appears that, well, Hilton had his glove out there. It could have hit off his glove and made a weird effort, but as a catcher, if you know it hits off your glove, you're going to go chase after it immediately. Hilton did not do that, and neither did the batter Valdivia. So, in my humble opinion, I think the call, they got it right there on the hit by pitch strikeout.
And a good job working with one another, Kelton Schott and Sean Schott, and a great explanation for Ryan Valenta there to explain exactly what happened here. 2 outs now, and Finn Hochstein will come to the plate, and the pitch is skied out of play on the right side. No balls and 1 strike on Hochstein as we are in inning number 3 of a 2-0 game. Sodbusters getting a couple of runs on a double and a triple, along with a pair of hit batsmen back in inning number 1. Here's the pitch, which had the perfect explanation in terms of the being hit by pitch, making it a dead ball. So the strikeout recorded alleviates basically the ball going back to the screen. And a 1-1 delivery on the way. And that's inside. Nearly got a piece of Hochstein. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Tried to go with that back foot breaking ball that got Valdivia to check his swing and miss on that too, and that seems like that's been a pitch that's been working for Jacobitz to these righties.
Hits this one in the air toward the left side. Shabry high to bring it down. A great job for Jaden Shabry to fade back. Played it perfectly, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for Creighton Jacobitz and the Hastings Sodbusters. No runs on no hits. We're to the bottom half of inning number 3. It remains Hastings 2, Nebraska nothing, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
At the bottom half of inning number 3, the Hastings Sodbusters with a 2-0 lead, and they will have the top of the order up there. Vega, Shabry, and Causey to go against Cody Cizik. Cizik, 31 pitches thrown, got roughed up in that first inning. Luke Causey had a hard hit fly ball. Weston Johnson a double and a run scored, and Jackson Crane with another triple for the Hastings Sodbusters. Then Quiet Sense, as the last 4 have been set down. Sodbusters getting 2 runs on 2 hits with Jaden Shabry and Johnston recording the runs scored. So it'll be Drew Vega, who was hit by a pitch and then was eliminated at second base on a caught stealing. Here comes Cody Cizik, right-hander versus right-hander, and first pitch swinging as Vega pops it up on the infield. This shouldn't be a problem, and it'll be an easy play for Mike Valdivia here to begin the 3rd inning.
About as good as a start as an inning you could ask for, but the Sodbusters need to focus on here is keeping the pedal on the metal. 2 runs. It's the lead right now, but as we know, no lead in the Independence League is safe. Anything can happen in the final 9 innings. Got to keep the pressure on offense.
Jaden Shabry hit by a pitch his first time up, and he takes outside for a ball. His aggressive base running, though, keeping the inning going as he took third on a ball down the third base line, then came home to score on a throwing error. Ended up being 2 errors on the play. The pitch just misses. 2 balls and no strikes on Jaden Shabry. With 1 out, nobody on, and the Sodbusters on top by a score of 2-0. And that's outside. as Jaden Shabry heading the count 3 balls and no strikes. Jaden Shabry has been a nice addition. Sometimes high school grads look a little, how should we say, out of their element when they play in a league like this. Shabry has fit right in, and so has Brock Cross, the other high school grad, pitched way outside. And it's a 4-pitch walk to Jaden Shabry with 1 out here in inning number 3, and Luke Causey will come to the plate.
Also worth noting, there is some rain coming down now. The first time it's started precipitating, had some fans retreat for the stands. Ponchos, umbrellas are coming out as well, and this is the 3rd time it started raining in the middle of the game now, and it's always started happening when the opposition is pitching. So it's like somebody knows that they need to slow the other team down on the mound.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Sodbuster Baseball, and this has pretty much been the theme in game number 8. Really feel bad for the ownership group, most notably Scott Galusha, because you're playing some great baseball, coming out doing all the right things, but you just can't catch a break weather-wise. Hopefully that'll even out as the season goes on. Strike 1 to Luke Causey, as here's the pitch. Taken high, because Sodbuster fans show they'll come out, win or lose. A couple of years ago, I was just so impressed with the fan base on a season where the wins were few and far between. Folks just coming out and having a great time on a good weather year. This year, it's been tough because the weather has just been terrible. Pitch across for strike, 1 ball and 2 strikes on Luke Causey. It's been unseasonably cool, although the broadcaster in me and the baseball fan in me doesn't like the weather. You know, we're right in the middle of the farm belt, and the weather, we will take the rain. 1-2 pitch on the way, and taken down the third base line. Bounces back out in front of the Hastings dugout. It remains 1-2 on Luke Causey. He hit it about as hard as you could, but to straightaway center, and Sean Robinson made it look easy out there. Causey left the yard earlier this year and continues to swing a hot bat for the Hastings Sodbusters. Runner at first, 1 man out. Sodbusters with a 2-0 lead. Pretty good lead for Jaden Shabry over at first. This one off the fist. It's into left center field, and that will fall for a hit. Rounding second, heading for third is Shabry. It's a single for Luke Causey, so you smash one in the first. Nothing to show for it. Now a throwback to first, and now come home and out at home. Causey was chased back to first. He dove back in. Sodbusters tried to score Shabry from third base, and he was gunned down. Nice job for the prospects to get the out at home. Josh Printer will come in and make sure that that was indeed the proper call. Gets a quick confirmation there. And so the Sodbusters' aggressiveness, they're going to be aggressive regardless. Tried to be aggressive there, but couldn't get the run home, so there's a runner at first and 2 outs.
Well, that was the perfect time to go in between third and home, because the person that tried to make the tag at first base almost slipped and fell, but credit to them for getting it just to home in the nick of time.
And I think the throw came from Drew Borner as he gunned it in to the catcher Corey Kozad, who applied the tag just in the nick of time. Now 1-0 the count on Weston Johnston. Johnston an RBI single and a run scored, so the Sodbusters set at first and third, 1 out, runner at first and 2 outs. Johnston hits this one hard to left field, carrying pretty well. Are they going to get there? No, it's in and out of the glove of Avery Moore. A run will score. Johnston digs for third. The throw not in time, and he'll stand in there. That'll be an interesting call, too. Avery Moore had a long way to go. I'm thinking triple, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And if it is, the Sodbusters' 7th triple of the year. Crazy.
And Weston Johnston's already got one of those as well. I would go with the triple, especially just because the outstretched reach, he was never slowing down, was the left fielder, just off the tip of his glove. And Luke Causey able to score all the way from first. Weston Johnston, another triple for him this year, his 2nd.
And the Sodbusters now have Jackson Crane, who tripled his last time up. Skies this one out of play for a foul ball. Sodbusters now lead it 3-0 and could have another run on the board if not for that throw out at home. But like I say, you're going to be aggressive. Sometimes it's going to work out. Sometimes it's not. And Sodbusters take the extra base that last time with Weston Johnston hustling all the way into third. Already with a 3-0 lead and looking for more. And Crane stands in and pops it up. Right side, the second baseman going out and will make the play as Drew Borner takes care of Jackson Crane. But the Sodbusters get a run on 2 hits and leave a man as we head to the 4th inning. It's 3-0 Hastings. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate woodbat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Way out of the fourth inning, Hastings Sodbusters on top 3-0 on the RBI triple from Weston Johnston, which left the bat at some 100 miles an hour and carried almost to the 405 mark into left field. We appreciate Connor Christensen and his work on Flight Scope, feeding those stats to Ryan Valenta, because apparently he will not text me, but Ryan shares, and so we just, it's there could be. I yelled at him one time, so yeah, he probably just doesn't. Probably doesn't think I'm an old guy. I don't read text. That's you have to fax it to me. That's the.
I've just got my phone open, so
Yep.
I guess maybe just the one time, and it never changed. We'll have a chat, and we'll say, Connor, you need to include Steve too. He's part of the broadcast team.
Yeah. It's okay. I think I blamed a comeback from the other team on him when he showed up in the booth. So there's we're keeping score here.
Yeah, he ditched us for the Huskers, but
Yep.
he got to experience a pretty cool Big Ten tournament win.
Very neat for him. Avery Moore steps in against Creighton Jacobitz, who continues to put up zeros for the Hastings Sodbusters, as 49 pitches, just threw his 50th pitch to open this frame, and Avery Moore singled his first time up, continuing very successful go for this Nebraska Prospects team. Watches this one go by for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike on Avery Moore. Moore, multi-hit games in all 4 games of the Casper Series. So just a tremendous start for Avery Moore, the Millard West guy who played Division I ball at Purdue in the spring. Bounces this one back up the middle. Shabry's got it on 2 hops. Shabry throws over to first in time. Avery Moore, a victim of Jaden Shabry, the shortstop for the Hastings Sodbusters, who continues to play really well there. 1 big out to open the 4th inning, and it'll be Corey Kozad now for the Nebraska Prospects. Starting catcher showed his gun as he threw out Drew Vega, trying to steal back in inning number 1. Stands at the plate and watches it go by for strike 1, Corey Kozad. A fly out to right his first time up. Millard West grad. Went to Southeast Community College and now is going to be headed on to Wayne State. Congratulations to him getting that 4-year opportunity. 0-1 delivery on the way, and that's right across for strike 2. Creighton Jacobitz pitching in the rain now, and it does not seem to bother him. Gave up a couple of base runners back in the first, but nothing since. And has allowed 1 hit today, his first hit allowed of the season after he went 13 hitless innings in his first 2 outings. Backdoor breaker just misses the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Corey Kozad. Graham Hilton tried to frame it, couldn't get it done. Jude Greaves playing first base for the Hastings Sodbusters. Drew Vega at second. Third baseman is Weston Johnston, and Jaden Shabry, the aforementioned shortstop for the Sodbusters. Pitch high in the air to center field. Underneath it, Jet Hannaford. He's got it when it finally comes down, and there are 2 outs in inning number 4. That'll bring to the plate Drew Borner. Borner, a D1 guy, making his prospects debut. Millard West grad and on to the University of Nebraska Omahas. Done nice in his time there. Borner flew out to right his first time up. It's a busy inning there in the first for Luke Causey. Grounds this one back up the middle at Shabry on 2 hops. Mishandles, now sets, throws, and a little bit low on that one. A rare miscue for Hastings Sodbusters. And Drew Borner reaching with 2 outs. That'll bring to the plate Aiden Martin. First error of the game on the Hastings Sodbusters as Borner aboard. Aiden Martin, who struck out his first time up, will be at the plate now for the Nebraska Prospects. Prospects travel-only team. They kind of set the foundation with their high school and youth squads. They have several teams, I think all the way down to 11 years old, so they kind of recruit all over the state. It's a pay-to-play organization. You go and you have a chance to play in tournaments all over the country at a youth level, and then they started this college-level team a few years ago to help fill games for the Independence Baseball League. Line drive right field, that's a base hit. Runners would be at first and second with 2 outs. Now the ball mishandled, and no chance for further advancement. You just wonder how hard it is to play defense. Talked about Chabry's error earlier this inning. Saw that ball bounce out of the glove of the left fielder, Avery Moore, on the triple from Weston Johnston. It's probably getting worse and worse in terms of trying to handle the baseball cleanly. So now there are runners at first and second. Aiden Martin with the second hit of the game for the Prospects. First and second, 2 outs now for Elijah Russell. Russell, a ground-out victim, his first time up. Hastings still trying to survive this inning with a 3-0 lead. But playing conditions are deteriorating here at Duncan Field, and we have seen way too much of this in terms of a baseball fan. Bouncing ball foul, no balls and a strike on Elijah Russell. 0 for 1 of the contest. Russell out of Waverly High School. He's looking for his next college stop. Elijah trying to get it going. His first hit of the year could maybe bring home a run. He was 0 for 9 coming into today with a run scored. Creighton Jacobitz brings it home. Couldn't catch the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Prospects, road-only team, and they made the long trip out to Wyoming and played 4 games at Casper. Got 1 game in at Spearfish before weather forced postponements. Big swing, no contact. Russell went 1 out of the zone there. Won their season opener against the defending conference champs, Spuds, 7-5, but then lost a 10-8 game. Won 6-3, fell 12-4 in that 4-game series. Runners go on a 1-2 pitch. It's grounded foul. Gabe Shumwell able to handle this one. That wasn't a rocket toward him, so he was able to pick that one up. And an opportunity to maybe get out of this inning with no damage done for Creighton Jacobitz. Then the eye-opening score back on May 31st. Spearfish scored 5 in the first, 6 in the second, 3 in the third, 3 in the fourth, 4 in the fifth, 1 in the sixth. All adds up to 22 runs, and mercifully they now have a run rule in the Independence Baseball League. 22 runs, 25 hits. I mean, most of the time, you score 7, you're in a game. Prospects got 2 in the fourth, 3 in the fifth, 2 in the sixth. They score 7 and were never in the game. 2-2 pitch. Runners jockeying off their bases. And the pitch. Stays outside. Good stop there for Graham Hilton. And now Jacobitz going to have to make a good one on Elijah Russell. Otherwise, the bases will be loaded. An error and a single opening the door. And now Russell looking for his first Prospects hit or trying to reach and get Jackson Schumacher in at bat. Runners go. The pitch swung on and missed. And Creighton Jacobitz puts another 0 on the board as he is able to strike out his 5th in just the last 3 innings. And it's 3-0 Hastings as we head to the bottom half of the 4th. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
And at the bottom half of the 4th inning, Sodbusters looking to add on to a 3-0 lead. It'll be Hilton, Greaves, and Hannaford against Cody Cizik. He's gone all the way as he will be throwing his 44th pitch. 22 of them have been strikes, so hasn't been totally masterful around the zone, but has kept his team in it. The Soundbusters have hit him pretty hard, though, as they have 2 triples and a double among their 4 hits. And quite a day to begin for Weston Johnston, who's already been in our Soundbuster spotlight this year. A double, a run scored, a triple, a run batted in. Jackson Crane has the other 3-bagger for this Hastings team, an amazing 7 triples in 8 games played for the Hastings Soundbusters. As Graham Hilton steps in, grounded to the second baseman, his first time up, and Cody Cizik brings it home. Hard hit ball into the left center field gap. Around first will be Graham Hilton. He will make the big turn, headed for 2, and the throw is going to be offline. Good aggressive play there for Graham Hilton. Came off the bat, and he was thinking 2 right out of the box. Gets his 3rd hit of the year, his first extra base hit, and the Soundbusters are runner in scoring position. Nobody out to begin the 4th.
Well, Hilton's been struggling at the plate, and that's a perfect swing and perfect contact to break you out of a little slump to open the season. Just the Soundbusters' 4th double of the season, and compared to that 7 triples like you just mentioned, Steve.
And Jude Greaves, maybe it's his time to break out of a little season beginning slump. Jude Greaves stands in. Metro Community College, his home college, able to lay off the one out of the zone. 1 ball and no strikes as Jude with that fly out to center. His first time up is now 0 for 10 on the season. Has scored a couple of runs and has a stolen base, playing in his 4th game. Soundbusters in game number 8, leading at 3-0 and trying to make it 8 wins without a loss. Pitch taken high and tight. 2 balls and no strikes. It kind of feels like the season-ending game from a year ago. Soundbusters had a chance at the playoffs. Actually jumped out against Nebraska 4-0, but then saw the Prospects come back and break their hearts 6-5. And a game that kind of got away. Now, it wouldn't have mattered as the other game that affected them went against the Soundbusters, so they wouldn't have made the playoffs, but it was kind of a sour ending on what was a very good year for the Prospects, or for the Soundbusters, as they closed the year at 32-20, their best record in franchise history. It's now year number 8 of the Hastings Soundbusters. 2-1 the count now on Jude Greaves. Takes this one well out of the zone. 3-1, and Cizik in danger of putting the first 2 aboard to begin the 4th. Jude Greaves looking to advance the runner, if nothing else. We'll see how it all works out as Cizik out of the stretch. Check of that runner at second, and the pitch. Taking up the letters for strike 2, 3-2. As Greaves, when you're in that kind of mode, maybe going to take that second strike. See if you can find a way to get on. As Josh Printer coaches down at third base. Corey Caranda at first. He is coaching only the home games this year, as the Soundbusters have a player coach on the roster now. Pitch taken outside, and it's ball 4. Jude Greaves will reach with Jet Hannaford coming to the plate. First and second, nobody out. A big chance for the Soundbusters.
And with this rainy weather now, with the precipitation continuing to sprinkle down, I'm all for taking a more passive approach at the plate, letting the pitcher trying to get the feel of the baseball and taking a walk here and there if you need to keep the line moving.
Jet Hannaford grounded out to third his first time up. We mentioned the player coach. Tyler Welch has been recruited as that. On the road, he is going to be coaching first base and more of a coaching duties, more of a coaching role after his 3rd year at Hastings College. Bunted foul, one of the more experienced players on the team. So kind of a cool dynamic there. And Welch, who's going to be getting into private business here once the Sodbuster season is over. Who knows? Maybe he'll want a chance to coach and get some of that experience here as a player at home and a coach on the road.
I imagine being a realtor, which is what he wants to do, and being a coach in the evenings would probably work out pretty well.
You betcha. First and second, nobody out. Jet Hannaford, an 0-1 count on him as Cizik checks the runners. Here's the pitch. Squaring to bunt and trying to pull the bat back. Jet Hannaford, horrible luck as the ball, I think, hit a bat handle as he pulled it down. It was tailing inside, and all he can do is shake his head and try to get in with an 0-2 count. Did everything but get the bat out of the way of the ball.
Are we sure his elbow guard maybe just doesn't sound like a bat? But no, that was about as clear sounding of a bat as you can hear there. Just rotten luck.
So likely the bunt is off. Hannaford is still squaring and takes outside for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So we may see the bunt be put down because, if nothing else, you get Jet Hannaford a chance to run down to first base. And it's never bad when he's bunting with his speed. So that still may be a possibility if he can put it in the field of play.
He squares again. They look back to second base, don't throw, and he was definitely going to be in the bunt situation again. As saw Josh Printer then flash a new sign. We'll see if the bunt's off or is it still on with 1 and 2 and nobody out. The wheels are a-turning. And pulling the bat back, slapping it into right field is Hannaford, and the bases will be loaded. No, they're going to try to score the run. The throw's cut off. It looked like Hilton was going to pause for a moment. Hannaford gets an RBI single, so he squared early, pulled it back, slapped it into right field. That's good baseball. It's good softball, too, in the fall. And the softball, or the baseball gods with them now, and a single will bring home the 4th run of the game for the Hastings Sodbusters.
Little butcher boy action there, faking the bunt and swinging away, and perfect execution by Hannaford, just trying to slap it the other way, down in the count. Don't want to try and pull the ball with 2 strikes on you. And then, like you mentioned, at third, you thought Hilton was going to stay there. Looking back at Josh Printer, didn't really give him a sign until he was already past the bag. Hilton stepped. Printer held up his hand to get a stop sign, but Hilton wasn't even looking at it. Saw that the relay was going to be coming in late, and there was not even a play at the plate. But heck of a job for Jet Hannaford to get that run home.
Sodbusters with a 4-0 lead. There was a visit to the mound as Gabe Shemwell out to talk with Cody Cizik. It could be toward the end of the day for him as his pitch count at 54. They'd probably like to get a few more out of him, but nobody out and 2 on. And the Sodbusters looking to bust this baby wide open with Chase Miller standing in the right-handed box. He's squaring to bunt and can't get the bunt down. The ball's on a strike, but tremendous job for Jet Hannaford. Just nice instincts at the plate, sold it well, pulled that bat back. Of course, he has very good chemistry with his third base coach because that's his coach in the spring as Arkansas State Mountain Home, their college. Off-speed pitch, beauty right across. It's 2 quick strikes on Chase Miller, who will have to battle here as he struck out looking his first time off. Up Saginaw Valley Stater as the Cardinals went 30-22 in the spring. Chase Miller standing in, trying to find a way to advance the runners, takes the pitch outside. Good spot there, trying to get him to offer at it. Corey Cozad says that's where we wanted it. He's the catcher for the Nebraska Prospects. 4-0 in the Sodbusters, looking for more in the home half of the 4th inning with first and second and nobody out. Double, walk, single so far in the inning. Curveball called strike 3. Tough one to get any part of, and a really good look there for Cizik, who gets a big first out, and now if he can dial up a ground ball, maybe a chance to survive this with only 1 run allowed.
That was the same one, especially that even at strikeout and the second called strike, slower than slow curveballs. Those runs in the low 60-mile-an-hour range on those breaking balls. It looked like that Cizik intentionally took something off there and was well rewarded for it.
Drew Vega comes to the plate now. He's 0 for 1, popped up his last time up, and he was hit by a pitch and caught stealing back in the first. Drew Vega, the Hastings Sodbuster returnee from Arkansas Tech, batting .333 coming into today with a couple of multi-hit games. Both of those coming against Spearfish in the first and third games of that Spearfish series for the Hastings Sodbusters. His last outing against Fremont when he went 1 for 5. Vega takes outside for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. That was quite a contest. The Sodbusters battling back to get the win over the Fremont Moo with 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th and a 7-6 victory. And yesterday, after a rainout, Fremont home to Spearfish, and Spearfish beat Fremont 7-4. Look back to second, nothing happening. Also yesterday, Casper beat Owyhee 7-5, so the Sodbusters 7-0, Casper 5-3. Top 2 teams in the Independence Baseball League to begin the year. 1-0 delivery. Cross at the letters, 4 strike 1, 1 ball and 1 strike. Spearfish 4-6, Fremont 3-6, Owyhee 3-6. Those the teams that will be eligible for the playoffs, the full season teams, if you will. We've got the Prospects, the Bison, and the Plainsmen only playing road games to help fill out schedules. 1-1 delivery. Right there for strike 2 on the outside corner. 2 really good pitches for Cizik as he tries to get the second out of the inning. Graham Hilton, a double, a run scored. Jet Hannaford with an RBI single in between a walk to Jude Greaves. He stands at second base. 4-0 Sodbusters on top, bottom half of inning number 4. They've scored in every inning but the second. 1-2 pitch.
Curveball's a beauty, but it breaks out of the zone, and a really tough take for Drew Vega, but it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good job for Drew. That baby started over the plate, and how he didn't swing at it. Pretty good job there. And now 2-2. Cizik, a check of the runners. And the pitch. Curveball beauty, and Vega knew it. Just couldn't get the bat off the shoulder there. 2 outs, back-to-back strikeouts looking for Cizik. And here's Jaden Shabry trying to salvage the inning and get another run home.
Just think at this level, guys aren't used to seeing that lollipop curveball drop in there for a strike. They're probably seeing it a fastball way too high out of the hands. But that is the pitch that is working for Cizik right now.
Shabry's reached base twice, walked and been hit by a pitch, and takes it on the outside corner for a strike. No balls and a strike on Shabry as one of the 4 runs scored for the Hastings Sodbusters in the game. They're up 4-0, bottom half of inning number 4 on another wet night of baseball here at historic Duncan Field. Pitch taken outside, good eye there. 1 ball and 1 strike on Jaden Shabry of an outstanding spring and off to a good start this summer. A 3-hit game in the 3rd game of the Spearfish series with a triple, 2 runs batted in, and a run scored. 1-1 delivery, way outside. Good stop for Cozad. 2-1 the count on Jaden Shabry. Got the high school grads who have both made big contributions, Shabry and Brock Cross. Cross picked up the win in relief in that wild game against Fremont with a perfect 9th inning before the Sodbusters rallied. Little honorable mention to Chase Phillips in that one, who had 3 1/3 innings of scoreless relief, but nothing to show for it. And taking time is Shabry, as Cizik was very deliberate out of the stretch for the Nebraska Prospects. 2-1 the count, 2 outs, first and second. Pitch inside. It's now 3-1 on Shabry. Showed a good eye up there, trying to get Luke Causey in at bat. Causey swinging it as well as anybody in the Sodbuster lineup. So Shabry can be patient here with 2 outs and a 3-1 count his way. Big swing, no contact, 3-2 with 2 outs. That will give the advantage to the Sodbusters in terms of Greaves and Hannaford taking off when the pitch is thrown, and a gapper could score 2 here for the Hastings Sodbusters. Cizik trying to get out of this with no more damage done. The 3-2 pitch on the way and fouled away. And I don't know if Greaves took off. I think he forgot about the situation. So 3-2 again. And I think losing the handle on that was Jaden Shabry. He's going to try to get a little more stickum and get a better grip on it. I think Greaves will be ready to go this time. Hannaford had taken off, but Greaves had not. 3-2 with 2 outs. Another payoff pitch here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. And the delivery. Off speed. Ball 4. Shabry started to go down, and they thought, did I get racked up? But no, ball 4. And Sodbuster fans can breathe a sigh of relief. That was a borderline pitch that they're thinking, whoa. Now Luke Causey does get an at-bat, as that's from Cody Cizik. Right on the border. There's really not much argument, though, from the Nebraska Prospects. Now Hastings trying to make it hurt with a couple of walks in the inning.
Well, they shouldn't have an argument there. Flight Scope said that was noticeably high.
Good. The way that was dropping, you just held your breath. Luke Causey takes strike 1. He hit it right on the button his first time up, lined out to center, and then singled, little blooper into left field his last time, and ended up scoring a run. Big RBI chance here for a guy who's swinging it as well as anybody. 1-1 pitch, and this one is chopped foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes over by Josh Printer in the third base coach's box. Luke Causey, guy getting his opportunity, just hoping to get some regular at-bats. And he's been in the lineup on a regular basis, and where you're going to be when you're hitting .440. And when you hit one out of Duncan Field, that opens the eyes. 0-2 pitch on the way, and fouled away. Off the bat and maybe off the helmet of the catcher, Corey Kozak. Remains no balls and 2 strikes on Luke Causey. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 1 run home. Sodbusters trying to really put a dent in this one, already leading at 4-0. Big at bat in the course of this game as Cizik trying to keep his team within shouting distance. And brings home an 0-2 pitch. curveball called strike 3, and that'll do it for the Sodbusters. They get a run on 2 hits. They leave them loaded, and we head to the 5th inning. We'll hear from Ryan when we come back in a 4-0 game. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here.
I feel better already. The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
We welcome you back to Sodbuster Baseball. 4 complete at Duncan Field, 4-0 in favor of the home team. 6 hits for the Busters and just 2 for the Prospects. They've committed 2 errors. Hastings has committed 1. Creighton Jacobitz out for his 5th inning and up back for his 1st inning. On the broadcast, Mike, GM and co-owner Scott Galusha. Scott, thanks for being here, and I'm glad we're able to brave another sloppy day and get a game in here this afternoon.
You know, it's going to be a broken record, but it is what it is, and so there's more people here than I thought, so that is a testament for sure to all our fans and everybody that cheers us on, because it's not another nice night, but pretty decent crowd for as bad as the weather is. But thankfully, it looks like we're going to get it in, and hopefully that weather is going to turn around at some point. But you know, farmers are happy.
Yes.
But I just soon see the sun once.
Well, you got that on. I said right at the start of the broadcast, Monday was almost too good to be true. That was the only good day we're going to get in a while. But hopefully we're set for some good weather next week. It's 8-9-1 for the Prospects. Jackson Schumacher, the first batter. Sean Robinson and Mike Valdivia to follow. Creighton Jacobitz still on the mound as the lefty, swing and a miss. And Scott, how good has he been? You know, you told us about your concerns for pitching earlier in the season, but he has been an anchor so far.
Yeah, you know, we didn't expect him to go opening day, but when we had a couple pitchers decide to go elsewhere, said, Creighton, you're the guy. And he's taken that role and ran, and just really proud of him. He's grown up a lot. He's put a lot of weight on. I know we've talked on that too. He's put a lot of work in the weight room. So really happy for him. I mean, he's a Hastings kid that's pitched a lot of baseball here, so nobody knows how to pitch better here than him. But he's just been really good for us and really consistent.
Ground ball to Shabry. Oh, the ball was bobbled at first base and not able to handle it. It was Jude Greaves. A little bit of a low throw from Shabry, but likely due to a wet baseball there, and that'll be the second error for the Sodbusters.
Well, if that happens again, I'm leaving. No, I'm just kidding. It's tough to play out there.
You might not be up here long, Scott.
Yeah, the ball's wet. It's tough to play out there, but those are plays that we need to make, and routine ground ball there, but the conditions are so difficult right now. So just got to keep battling, and our kids are doing a good job at doing that.
That ball was also not hit very lightly as well. That was 95 off the bat, according to our flight scope.
Good.
Fouling it back to the screen, Sean Robinson towards the concourse. Like I mentioned, still plenty of fans here at Duncan Field, and most brave enough to weather the light rain here. The others taking shelter in the concourse. But still not the worst night we've seen here.
Well, everybody's used to it by now, because we've done it now 6 times in a row pretty much. But you know, I don't even know. I know we're ahead 4-0, but I was selling adult beverages, so I'm not sure how we scored.
We did score back in the first inning. We had the Jaden Shabry get on base with a hit by pitch. Weston Johnston, he had that double, and then the Prospects kind of threw it around in the infield, threw it out of play, allowed him to come home and score. And then the RBI triple from Jackson Crane. Good job on getting him back. He's got back-to-back triples in his first 2 games as a Sodbuster. And then back in the 3rd inning, had Luke Cossey getting on with a single. Weston Johnston, a triple this time, drove it out over the left fielder's head. That kid's got some power too. And then the last one, Graham Hilton's leadoff double, chased home by a Jet Hannaford single. Jacobitz picks off to first and throws it away down the right field line. Going to second is Schumacher. He turns and hits for third. Dug out by Cossey. The throw in will not be made there. And Jacobit's costly throwing error will put a runner at third base.
Self-inflicted wounds, that happens. But what our kids have done a really good job of this year is being able to respond from those and play the next pitch and not let a mistake bother us. So we're going to see that again, and proud of our guys, and I'm proud of everybody wearing that Sodbuster uniform. But Graham Hilton has never really struggled before. He's always been successful. And Graham came to me and talked to me yesterday, and we had a nice little, not necessarily pep talk, but talked about baseball and the fact that it's a game of failure. And to see him come out and have a couple good at-bats is really nice. And he's working hard, and it's just hard. You're used to everything being easy.
Yep.
And at this level, it's just not always that way.
Graham Hilton with that aforementioned double back in the fourth inning. Creighton Jacobitz trying to put away the 9-hole hitter Sean Robinson, who is 0 for 1 with a strikeout today. The lefty delivers foul ball off the foot, and that one smarts a little bit. You see Robinson's got an ankle guard, but doesn't extend to the foot. Especially in the little bit colder of a weather, it definitely does not feel good.
Yeah, because it is June in Nebraska, so
happy June where it's rainy and 60.
I didn't even think it made it to 60, but hey, that's good. But very fortunate that we were able to get these games in, because trying to make up a game with as tight as our schedule is very difficult.
Right at the knees for strike 3. Robinson is struck out for the second time. And that is the first out of the inning. And like you mentioned, Scott, making up games is tough. We've been fortunate to get back-to-back Friday through Sundays off, but then after this weekend, a streak of, almost 20 games in a row, 20 games in 20 days.
Yeah, it's that's kind of just how summer baseball goes. And so we talk to the kids, get there.
Valdivia into center. It's there for the center fielder. Runner tags and will stop at third. The throw comes in and knocked down. Nice play by the center fielder, Jet Hannaford. The ball not quite hit deep enough by Valdivia to score the run.
I'd have sent him. I mean, the throw was going to beat him there, but it's wet.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
I'd make him throw and catch it. But hey, what a great response by the Sodbusters, right?
Yep.
Two errors, 2 mistakes, guy on third, 2 outs. Now we got a chance to get out of it, and those are the things that we've done so far this year to keep it rolling for the Busters.
It's Finn Hochstein batting. He's the Seward guy on the team. Came into today's game just 2 for 13, and he takes a strike for strike number 1. Hochstein today grounded into a fielder's choice and lined out to shortstop. But another thing, Scott, I want to highlight from this team, Steve and I were talking about it earlier. We've mentioned this guy hasn't played much because, well, there's just so much depth on this team. And there's been no struggle in offense. You've got 2 different shortstops. You got about 5 or 6 different guys that can play in the outfield. Just what kind of feedback have you received from some of the players so far this season?
Well, first of all, it's been really good. That usually takes a road trip for the kids to kind of come together.
Which hasn't happened
yet.
And
we haven't had that. And we're so young, but they've done a really good job. And that's a testament to Josh, but really those 5 returners that had to accept, hey, my teammate is now my coach. And they've done a great job doing that. And so our kids, they all hang out together. We had all 24 kids that were in town showed up to the Legion game last night. All 24 of them, they all sat together for the entire game. And so those things, you don't see that on a baseball field, but that's part of what's happening out here is they're playing for each other. Now, surely there's guys that want to play more. That's part of the game. But, those times will come. But right now, things are going well. Our kids are playing hard, and we're just excited about the start. So couldn't be more proud of what we're doing, but we've got to keep it up. We can't relax and continue to work hard. But that's the key for our team right now. If you ask me, and they did yesterday on TV, was the key is we're getting production 1 through 9.
Yes.
And besides that, it doesn't matter which 9 they are. We're playing 13 or 14 guys, and we're getting production pretty consistency with the exception of game 2, I think, where we got 3 or 4 hits is all. But we're getting production up and down the lineup. So when you can do that, you're just constantly putting pressure on teams.
And Finn Hochstein's putting pressure on Creighton Jacobitz right now. Just sent his 4th foul ball out of play. So this will be Pitch number 6 of the at-bat. Feels like a lot more.
Breaking ball, strike 3.
Got him! Pulled the string, and a perfect call by Scott Galusha. Jacobitz with another 2-strikeout inning, and he is up to a total of 7 strikeouts on the afternoon. Well, since you know it all, Scott,
No.
what else?
Lucky
can you,
guess.
What else? What else can we expect going forward of the season at Duncan Field? We got a lot of away games in June, but then home competition ramps up in July. And just what for fans that haven't come out and seen the Sodbusters at Duncan Field this season, what can you tell them about this year?
Well, first of all, our biggest promotion of the year is Friday the 13th. So the next time we're home, we'll have 9 innings of winnings, and I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to figure it out. But we have all the gifts, all the packages that we're going to give away are north of $400 up to maybe $1,500, and we're going to give all those. We're going to raffle all those away that night. And right now I have more than 9, so I'll have to figure out how I'm going to put those together. But so that's really our favorite night of the year, usually the biggest crowd of the year, and hopefully Mother Nature will help us out. But we have a lot of road games in a row, and so we're going to really see what we're made of. We got a make-up game on Saturday against Fremont. That'll be the first road game, and then we take off for Casper on Monday, and they're going to have to battle. A little bit different brand of baseball when we're not playing in this spacious confines of beautiful Duncan Field. But our kids, I think, are prepared to that, and really happy. The leader, Josh, is staying pretty even keel, and that's something that I've talked to him about. And I try to, if you can, when you watch him down there, I like to not know the score when you look at him. Yep. And I think you can tell. You can't tell what the score is when Josh is out there, and I think that's important because that's what the kids feed off of.
We'll talk about him more in just a second. We're talking with General Manager and co-owner Scott Galusha in this 5th inning here on Sodbuster Baseball. 4-0 still your score over the Nebraska Prospects. It's Weston Johnston, Jackson Crane, and Graham Hilton to lead things off. Cody Cizik is still out there for the Nebraska Prospects. He has thrown 74 pitches in his first 4 innings, but we'll look to quiet the Sodbusters here in this one. Weston Johnston, a great day already, a double in the first, an RBI triple in the third. He has been all sorts of great stuff here for the Sodbusters, not just in this game, but in this opening home series.
You know, we have a lot of good hitters, but I think Weston is our best fundamental hitter. He's strong. He's short to the ball, and he's a real good hitter. And Coach Dawson at Arkansas Tech is excited to get him back, although those were 3 really good pitches on the edge. But he's been really consistent at the plate, and that's why he's got a lot of at-bats.
Well, that's a first strikeout of the inning, and that's now a total of 4 strikeouts in the past 5 batters for the Hastings Sodbusters offense. Jackson Crane will try and keep his great day going. He's also had an RBI triple in this contest.
He's kind of hit the ground running, just kind of an extension of what he did for us the last couple weeks of last year. Did a good job for us down the stretch, and glad to have him back.
Also a defensive change as Crane gets that ball square in the ribs, but he appears no worse for wear for it. So he'll take first base. Now at third base is Jake Smolinski, and he takes the place for the prospects of Finn Hochstein, who struck out in his last at-bats. Smolinski, a Gretna native, plays ball at Southeast Community College. Now here is Graham Hilton, as Scott just told us, guy who is thinking that he might need to rethink something, but baseball is just a game of inches sometimes. Runner goes before the pitch is thrown, and they throw for whatever reason to first base. I think maybe they called a balk, but
they might have.
That's bizarre. Why would the pitcher throw to first base when Crane's clearly going to second base? Either way, it's the runner at second base now.
So we just told Graham to go back to fundamentals. Don't try to lift the ball, because this is where fly balls go to die. Everybody says that now, which is true. And so I'm really happy that he went back to those and had a good day. Look for him to make another good swing here.
Graham Hilton with the double in the fourth. And that officially last play was a balk by the pitcher Cizik, allowing Crane to get to second in scoring position. Another pickoff attempt. The throw is back in late. Sodbusters with 2 in the first, 1 in the third, and 1 in the fourth, trying to score for the 3rd straight inning. Got 6 hits on offense so far, but none yet this inning. Now let's turn back to, we talked about head coach Josh Printer. The head coaching has been kind of a interesting subject the past couple of years. We had Coach Danny Weiser in the interim last year, and now Josh Printer, a guy that played for you the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I know in your mind there was no doubt for him, but just after his first 7 games, how has he lived up to your expectations?
You know, he's doing exactly what I thought Josh Printer would do, and it's so impressive that he is able to transfer from player to coach in 1 year, and yet it doesn't. That's a difficult thing to do, and it doesn't seem like it's phased him at all. And he's 23 years old that has old guy principles, which is why I love Josh Printer. He's a little hard on him from time to time. He does not let him get away with screwing around. He holds them accountable. And the other day he said we got the team text was we have voluntary hitting at 3 o'clock. And when 17 of the 25 guys showed up, he got on there and said, "Where the hell are the rest of you guys?" And guess what? They all showed up. And he didn't use the word hell. He might have used a little bit colorful word. But see, and I don't condone always the language, but he took charge, and the kids respect him. Because, Josh is not the most gifted guy you've ever seen baseball-wise, but a tremendous baseball player. Worked his way to a Division I opportunity with Dallas Baptist, and was always the anchor for us for 2 years on the infield and in the dugout. So I'm not surprised at all. Matter of fact, when people ask me about him, they're surprised he's 23. So we've kind of got the best of both worlds with Josh, and really fortunate that he chose to spend another summer with us.
And fortunate to have him first coach in history to lead the Sodbusters off to a 7-0 start, and guy who's been excellent with us as well in the broadcast booth. It's another 3-2 pitch. The runner picked off again, running to third and out is Jackson Crane on the 3-2 pitch. Tried to get a read, and that's a move that Cizik has used a couple of times this game. This time he picks the right spot to have the pickoff, and like you said, Coach Printer, he's given Crane a piece of his mind, however that may be right now.
I could repeat that conversation for you, and it was, boy, you did it dumb and you did it twice.
Yep.
But that's the way it goes. And Jackson played for Josh at Arkansas State Mountain Home. So he knows Jackson really well. So, well, it's been fun. I'm glad we're getting a chance to get a game in. I love seeing the good guys up 4-0. And my wife is pretty disappointed. Right before I got in here, I read a text. She actually said I miss you, which may or may not be true. But she wanted to be. She planning was coming here today, and she said I just can't come down and freeze in the rain. So she said I'm watching, and she loves watching you guys. I'm pretty sure she's more impressed with you guys than me, but she loves listening to you guys talk every time. And we're in a pretty good habit where a lot of times we'll watch the game again and listen to you guys. So I really appreciate everything you guys do, and thanks to everybody out there watching. And get out here and see us play, especially on the 13th. But hopefully that weather's going to turn around once we get cranked up. So
thank you so much, Scott, for the kind words, and thanks, Karen, back at home, for being one of the many fans here on Sodbuster
I got one
Baseball.
more thing for you.
What you got?
Okay, we're 7-0, right?
Yep.
And my dog has been here all 7 times.
Hank.
This morning, I talked to Karen. I said, hey, it's going to rain. Not sure we're going to play. We're not going to take Hank today because you don't really need him in the rain.
Yeah.
14 pounds of fury, right? So anyway, everybody loves Hank. So I get down here. First thing Trevor says, didn't say hi, didn't say anything else. He said, "Where's Hank?
Where's the dog?"
And I'm like,
goodness.
Whatever. So then I saw Deb. First thing Deb says to me, "Where's Hank?" I'm like, you guys got to be kidding me. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. So I said, okay, if we're going to play, Karen will meet one of us at the interstate and bring him down. And no, we had 2 staff members drive up to my house, get him, and bring him back. So Hank is here. So, I'm guarantee they all like him more than me. But, we're all baseball players. So if you're superstitious, right?
Yep.
So same shoes, same socks, same underwear, same all washed.
Yep.
But everything's the same.
Just to clarify.
Yep. You got to make it work. And if you think it's working, then it is, right?
Well, it's 7-0. You can't argue with that logic there.
All right.
Appreciate
Hey,
it, Scott.
you bet.
And
Thanks,
we'll
guys.
see you next week.
Yep. Bye.
Co-owner and general manager Scott Galusha on our Sodbuster Baseball broadcast. As we enter the top of the 6th inning, it is Creighton Jacobitz still on the mound for the Hastings Sodbusters, and he will go up against 3, 4, and 5 against the Nebraska Prospects hitters. Steve, you ready to go?
I am ready to go.
All right, Steve's got you for the next couple.
All right, here's Avery Moore coming up against Creighton Jacobitz, his 87th pitch thrown. My fault, his 83rd pitch thrown, as Cody Cizek has thrown 86 pitches. Very similar pitching lines, but 4-0 the score for the Hastings Sodbusters, as they have taken advantage of some opportunities, missed some others, and do have a 4-0 lead and a 2-0 count now to Avery Moore. How about the job Creighton Jacobitz did in the 5th inning? 2 errors, put a runner at third, nobody out. One of those errors from Jacobitz bounces right back to get a strikeout, a pop-up to short center, and another strikeout to keep it scoreless. It's Creighton Jacobitz. That's one thing about it. He's had base runners against him this year, but has done a great job of minimizing damage and does issue a 4-pitch walk. That's not going to make Scott Galusha or anybody happy. Leadoff walk to open the 6th inning, and here comes Jacob Printer to Josh Printer to come out and talk with Creighton Jacobitz. There is left-handed action, no right-handed action for the Hastings Sodbusters behind Jacobitz. Could be nearing the end of the day, and it's odd. This could be his shortest start of the year, but I almost like what Creighton has done today, even though he's given up 2 hits. Just about to talk about the lack of free passes, but he just walked one there. For the most part, he's stayed away from that. He hasn't hit anybody, and just a couple of walks on the day. He's almost been more in command today, even though he's given up a couple of hits. And his pitch selection, when runners have been behind him, they are going to stay with Jacobitz at this point with 4, 5, and 6 hitters coming up. Big spot in the game, Brian Valenta.
At 86 pitches right now, and he's thrown at least 100. 101 and 102 in each of his first 2 outings, so he's still got some left in the tank. A little bit of interesting conditions, though, since it is a bit rainy, and the Sodbuster bullpen is getting hot. If they need to, they push the button to change to the bullpen here at a moment's notice.
Squaring to bunt already as Corey Kozad pulls it back as Jacobitz just now comes set. And the pitch, Kozad going to be swinging away here, down 4-0, and he pops it up on the infield. Thought it was going to be on the shortstop side. This will drift over to the right-hand side, and Drew Vega brings it in. So a large out there, 1 on, 1 out for Drew Borner.
Well, thank you very much, Corey Kozad. As an opposing team, you got to know the starting pitcher's getting up there in pitches. Maybe take a pitch or 2 and make sure that this is Jacobitz's last inning, if not trying to knock him out in the middle of it.
Yeah, I was really surprised he went after it because you can't start an inning after 100 pitches, so you're hoping that this would, by rule, be his last inning. Now you give him an opportunity. 1-0 count on Borner. Borner's 0 for 2, flew out to right, reached on an error. Runner at first, 1 out, 1 big out here in the 6th as the pitch taken down low, throw back to first base, and Moore, no problem getting back there. 2 balls and no strikes, so yeah, even looking more important that Kozad swung at the first pitch because Jacobitz has come out and thrown 2 straight balls to Borner. 2-0 delivery on the way, squaring to bunt, and taking ball 3 is Drew Borner. Sodbusters continue to have right-handed action. A couple of other guys standing down there as well for the Hastings Sodbusters. Jacobitz shakes off a sign here, looking to get a pitch that he has a feel for right here. And will bring home the 3-0 delivery, and that's right across for strike 3 and 1 on Drew Borner. Sodbusters scoring 2 in the first, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth. 0s on the board so far for the Prospects. Had a good chance to score in the first inning. 2 base runners in the fourth, and a runner at third with nobody out in the 5th. Curveball beauty right across, so he's come all the way back. 3 and 2 on Borner with Avery Moore at first. 1 out in the 6th. Sodbusters looking for an 8-0 start, and Hank, the dog, is here again. 3-2 delivery. This one, line toward the left side. Shabry's got it. Throw back to first. It gets away, and getting up and advancing to second will be Avery Moore. A nice opportunity there, and a good thought, a good throw may get Avery Moore. As it stands, it'll be a line out to Shabry. and then a throwing error, and just bad luck more than anything. It bounced off of Moore, and he hustled down to second. We'll get the runner in scoring position with 2 men out.
Yeah, that throw was right in the base path of the runner Moore. Was a good throw, but just not much you can do there, especially if you're Jude Greaves. Can't reach around the guy. That's a big dude coming sliding right back in at you. And fortunately that nobody got cleated or anything on that play. All parties are well.
Here's Aiden Martin, who's 1 for 2 on the day. Struck out his first time up, singled his last time up. Big swing and fouls it away. No balls and a strike on Aiden Martin. And he is a large individual. Ellsworth Community College, his college of choice from Council Bluffs. We'll see a visit to the mound from the catcher and the shortstop as Shabry going to come over and visit. Also see the catcher, Graham Hilton, come out, have a quick word, maybe just get their sign straight with a runner at second now and 2 outs. Make sure that they are on the same page in that respect. We've seen Shabry do that a couple of times when the runner's at second, wants to make sure that everybody is on the same page. And you'll love that from a high school grad, kind of stepping right in and showing some leadership in that respect. Jacobitz, a check of the runner. First pitch right across, trying to battle his way through this 6th inning with another 0 on the board in what in all likelihood would be his last inning, as he's now approaching 100 pitches. 4-0, Sodbusters on top. 0-2 delivery. Came inside, and Martin able to take that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Aiden Martin. Creighton Jacobitz, like I say, the first 3 starts of the year, you would think that there would be a 4-year college who would have an interest in Creighton Jacobitz. Great presence on the mounds. 1-2 delivery. That's in the turf, gets away, and advancing on a wild pitch will be Avery Moore. So runner at third, 2 outs. It'll get a little tougher now for Graham Hilton. Want to make sure you keep that in front, and 2 balls and 2 strikes. The counts on Aiden Martin.
Jacobitz has been going to that slider a lot more in this inning especially. Perhaps that's a planned, either to keep the hitters off or he thinks that that's his best pitch right now. Nobody's been able to square it up super well just of yet.
2-2 delivery. And that's inside and low into the fastball that time. And a large pitch coming up in this at-bat. Could be the final pitch one way or the other for Creighton Jacobitz as he's reached 98 pitches. He could continue the inning, but see how it all works out. No new batter after 110 pitches. No new inning after 100 here in the Independence Baseball League. 3-2, 2 outs, the pitch. Called strike 3. Martin didn't like it. He's rung up. And 6 scoreless innings for Creighton Jacobitz. No runs, no hits, an error, and 1 man left. We head to the bottom half of inning number 6. It's still 4-0 Hastings, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now. There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
At the bottom half of inning number 6, the Hastings Sodbusters continue to lead it 4-0. Another good escape job for Creighton Jacobitz, who gave up a leadoff walk but got the next 3 out, and he preserves the shutout. The Sodbusters try to get more with Greaves, Hannaford, and Miller coming to the plate against Cody Cizik. Pretty courageous effort. Gave up those 2 first-inning runs. Wondered how long he was going to be in this game, and here he is all the way into the bottom of the 6th, and he'll be throwing his 87th pitch to begin this frame.
Yeah, the prospects not with a full roster right now, like we mentioned. They've got some of their guys, but definitely not all of their guys. They've had this ever since last Saturday off, so they're all well rested, but they've got a couple of games this weekend. Probably want as much as they can out of Cizik to save those other arms for their weekend games.
Jude Greaves steps to the plate and takes ball one. 1-0 the count. He's 0 for 1, flew out to center and walked. She had an at-bat that last scoring inning for the Sodbusters when they get the RBI single from Jet Hannaford to bring home Graham Hilton. Swing and a miss, 1 ball and 1 strike on Jude Greaves. Still trying to find his way here in summer ball. You get off to that start and you don't get hits in the early going, and to see that big 0, that can weigh on you a little bit. Hopefully he finds a way. 1-1 delivery on the way, and that's way outside as Cizik lost the handle on that one and threw it in the left-handed batter's box. Still action for the Sodbusters. In all likelihood, the end of the day for Creighton Jacobitz after 99 solid pitches. Off-speed pitch lined into left field, and that's a base hit. Jude Greaves with his first Sodbusters single, and it's a leadoff batter aboard for the Hastings Sodbusters.
And there it is right there. Greaves waited on that breaking ball. It was left right out over the plate. We've seen Greaves have just horrible troubles with the breaking ball this season. Most pitchers have been able to locate it down and away from him. That one right in his wheelhouse, and that definitely does provide some muscle memory that, hey, that pitch is right there. I can do that with that.
There is going to be a pitching change. We'll try to tell you about the new prospects right-hander. There's also a defensive change in right field. We'll tell you that when we come back. It's still 4-0 Hastings, and this is Sodbuster Baseball. Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner. A friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good, it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
New right-hander coming in for the Nebraska Prospects as Isaac Borges, Lincoln East graduate, the home of good baseball and good broadcasting, as that's the alma mater of Ryan Valenta. He goes to Southeast Community College and making his second appearance, 1-0 with a 2.33 ERA. So does have one of the 2 wins for the Nebraska Prospects on the season. He's thrown 3 innings, allowing 1 run on 2 hits. Struck out 4, walked 2, hit 1, an on-base, or I should say opponent's batting average of 182. He picked up the win in relief in the season opener against Casper, with Nebraska winning that contest by a score of 7-5. He'll be facing 8-9-1 here. Also into the contest, Jacob Perrin is now playing right field, that baseball tradition-rich number of 94 out in right field. Bellevue East guy goes to Southeast Community College. Yeah, their initial roster, they had 94, 91, 86, numbers you just don't generally see in baseball. I'm thinking like it's a bunch of really big dudes, like tight ends and those kind, but now they have got a new uniform combo, so they've got a lot of different numbers. It makes it challenging for the streamers here today as well, but so far so good, and Andy has gotten all the game changer updates right on cue, and so that helps us as well. Jet Hannaford steps in. He had the RBI single his last time up on a nifty bit of bat work as he squared to bunt, pulled the bat back, and slapped it into right field to bring home Graham Hilton. 1 on, nobody out. Hastings looking to add on runs here. Make it easier for the bullpen. Here's a line drive right at the second baseman who's got it. No chance to throw it back to first. Good job for Drew Boerner to play his position. Hannaford right on the button, but he's out, and Chase Miller will come to the plate.
Tough luck. Can't hit it much harder or squared up harder than that, but a great read by Greaves to get back to first base.
It's going to be Chase Miller up there. He struck out twice. He's probably happy to see Cody Cizik in the day after Cizik struck him out twice as Cizik throwing 90 pitches before giving way to the bullpen as the pitch across for strike, no balls, and 1 strike on Chase Miller.
Interesting that Borges was part of this Lincoln East State Championship team just earlier last month, the team that won the Class A title with a 33-3 record, and also got to pitch 1 game, an inning and 2/3 of scoreless relief in the state tournament.
Here's the pitch. Curveball is a little bit low. Lincoln East is putting it together. It's kind of neat to see a team outside the metro come to the forefront. There for a while, it was all Omaha area teams getting it done, but Lincoln East, the last 4 or 5 years, their Legion team making a trip to Shelby, North Carolina for the American Legion World Series not too many years back. Pitch across for strike, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Like you said, recent success. My senior year at Lincoln East, back in 2018, way long ago, wasn't part of the baseball team, but they were 6-18 that year. So they've come quite a far ways to win their first couple of state championship titles.
1-2 pitch taken upstairs on the curveball. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Chase Miller with Drew Vega waiting on deck. Greaves at first. He got the leadoff single. Hannaford with a line out to second, still 4-0. Hastings Sodbusters in all likelihood ending the day for Creighton Jacobitz, who throws 99 pitches and 6 shutout innings. What a first 3 starts for him, in line to pick up his 3rd win if the Sodbusters go on and take this victory. High and tight for the 2-2 pitch, and Miller's worked it all the way back to 3-2. A wide variety of pitches and of velocities for Borges. Really tough to lay off that high hardwood after seeing the hook a couple of times. Borges trying to come through and get the out here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and the delivery down low for a ball. So the first 2 of the first 3 have reached here in the 6th inning. Top of the order coming up with 1st and 2nd, and only 1 man out. The Sodbusters on top, 4-0.
Good eye by Miller. I know it's tempting to swing at a pitch that's pretty close to the zone after striking out looking twice, but even in better eye to get him on base for the first time today.
Vega looking to get it going. He was hit by a pitch and caught stealing. Since then, a pop-up and a strikeout. Gets his first look at Borges, who takes one. It's over his head. It's off the catcher's mitt, and you don't need to sacrifice now because a wild pitch will put Greaves at 3rd and Miller at 2nd. I thought for a moment it clicked off the helmet of Vega. That's how high and out of the zone it was, but no argument from Nebraska prospects. It's just a big wild pitch, and the Sodbusters now a decision here. Are you still bunting just to try to get the run home?
Yeah, that pitch went off the glove of the Nebraska prospects catcher, Kozad. And, yeah, good point. Are you bunting now, or can we perhaps see a trademarked Drew Vega line drive single over the second baseman's head to score a couple of runs here?
Right-handed action for the Sodbusters. Chase Phillips continues to get hot. He pitched really well in his last outing. 1-0 delivery, and pitch taken upstairs, and you may make Borges throw a strike right here as well, as that wild pitch may have rattled him just a little bit after he walked the previous batter, and Vega has the count his way. The infield is in. 2-0 delivery. Swinging away is Vega. Got a good piece of it, but lined it foul. 2-1 the count on Vega.
Infield also coming in for the prospects, just on the outside of the lip of the infield turf. Don't have necessarily the best speed with Greaves at 3rd base, but they want to make sure this stays a 4-run game.
2-0 delivery, across for strike. Really good breaker at the knees against Drew Vega from Isaac Borges. Borges' next stop will be Southeast Community College. That's been a JUCO power here in Nebraska the last few years. Line drive over on the first base side. 2 hops Elijah Russell, and a foul ball will make a count. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Drew Vega. 4-0. Sodbusters looking for more insurance here to get through the final third of this game and complete a perfect 8-0 homestand. And did I hear Scott say they're going to have a makeup game at Fremont Saturday?
That is what he said, yes.
So that was not on our original schedule, so they'll be able to make that game that they had rained out on Tuesday. Officially will have their first road game, then get a chance to come home for a day, and then hit the road for Casper, Wyoming for 4 big games, then come home to play the Casper team for 3 in a series that could go a long way to deciding the first half champion here in the Independence League. 2-2 pitch on the way. Another foul ball. Vega, good battle going on right here as he continues to put it in play, or at least fight off pitches and get another look at Borges. Hastings Sodbusters 4. Nebraska prospects nothing. Borges, another 2-2 pitch. Swing and a foul tip into the glove, I believe, of Corey Kozad. That is a large second out, and Hastings on the verge of stranding runners at second and third unless Jaden Shabry can come through.
That pitch just running in on the hands of Vega. I think he was a little bit in swing mode right there with 2 strikes, but no chance there on that delivery from Borges.
So Borges puts a first pitch to Shabry. Shabry hits it high in the air, right field. That is going to be caught. Good job getting back on that one for Jacob Perrin, the new right fielder, and the Sodbusters turned away. No runs, a hit. 2 men left. We head to the 7th inning. It's still 4-0 Hastings. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings Sodbusters Baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate woodbat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters Baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
We head to the 7th. New pitcher for the Hastings Sodbusters. It's Chase Phillips. The right-hander has had a very good start to the year, making his 5th appearance. No record yet, a 2.62 ERA. In 8 innings, he's allowed 3 runs, 5 hits, struck out 10. He's walked 5. Opponent sitting 179 against him. His last outing coming against Fremont on June 2nd. Went 3 1/3, no runs, no hits, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks. Love his command, love the way he works. Doesn't take too much time and just generally brings in the strikes. You'd love to see that for about 3 innings today.
Yeah, Phillips was the big key in that Fremont game. 3 1/3 for him there, and really settled the waters after the starting pitcher Marcus Miller didn't have the best day. That helped the Sodbusters to fight their way back to that walk-off win against Fremont back on Monday. So he's had a couple of days of rest. Know what he's got, the big fastball, and then he's got a very sharp breaking ball that is pretty lethal to especially right-handed hitters if they don't identify it and will often swing and miss at it.
Going to face 7, 8, and 9 for the Nebraska prospects here, so he also gets the added benefit of facing the bottom of the order and throws a first pitch and blows it by Elijah Russell. Russell 0 for 2. There have been some changes for the prospects. They've got 4 new guys in their lineup since the game began. Pitch outside here, 1 ball and 1 strike on Elijah Russell. And I'll tell you, Chase Phillips could be bucking for some pitching time. He went to college as a pitcher, but hasn't been used there. Ended up being pretty much an everyday second baseman. Bouncing ball to the right side. Drew Vega's got that. And 1 out, Elijah Russell, retired by Drew Vega as he threw it over to Jude Greaves at first.
Yeah, I think you can hear the atoms being split in the air as those fastballs are coming in from Phillips. He is humming that thing in there, but still nice contact for Elijah Russell. Put it on the ground to second base, just right at a infielder.
Jacob Perrin gets his first at bat of the day, and he takes on the outside corner for strike 1. Jacob Perrin, new to the lineup. He was originally listed as 94. He's actually wearing, well, it looks like that's still number 20. Now I'm confused. Here's a fly ball into right center field, and that is going to be over the head of the right fielder, Luke Causey, as heading into second. Well, is that still Schumacher? Thought he was, Perrin was in the next spot of the batting order, so I had a scorekeeping error. That was Jackson Schumacher who gets the double. Now it's going to be Jacob Perrin as he came in the spot of Sean Robinson. All these changes confusing the old man.
Yeah, that one was, whoever hit that one there, doesn't matter the name, it's well over the head of Causey. He lunged out at the last second, was just over the tip of his glove. He's able to make a stab at it right after it bounced and able to knock it down to keep it close to him, likely keeping Schumacher at second base with a double. We've seen balls go over outfielders' heads all day today, and pretty much everyone except that one has resulted in a triple.
So this is going to be number 15 now, Jacob Perrin. Again, they make a change. They've also changed their numbers since they played last. And so Jacob Perrin batting in the 9 spot of the batting order instead of the 8 spot in the batting order. There's 1 on and 1 out. And the prospects trying to come back. We're in the top half of inning number 7, final third of this one. Sodbusters trying to start 8-0. Well-struck ball from Jackson Schumacher, who has his first hit in 3 at-bats. And Jacob Perrin is at the plate now, and he is first pitch swinging and fouls it away. As a Jacob Perrin, Bellevue East product, headed to Southeast Community College. He's a returnee from last year's team, has 1 multi-hit game. Went 2 for 4 in the 4th game of the Casper Series with a run batted in. 5 for 17, 294 coming into today. The prospects are 2-3, the Sodbusters 7-0. 0-1 delivery just misses the inside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike on Jacob Perrin.
Guy who played for the Prospects last year had 19 hits. 7 of those came against the Sodbusters in 8 games.
Here's the pitch. Bouncing ball, left side, and foul. Count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sodbusters won the season series 7-2. That after the year before when they had gone 4-5 against the most talented team in the Independence Baseball League. The Prospects went 25-9 back in 2023. Dominated early part of the season against the Sodbusters, but Hastings came back to sweep a 3-game series to end the year. 1-2 pitch, just off the inside corner. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. As Phillips took something off of that one, did not get the call, and we'll try to get him here in 2-2. Runner at second base, 1 out, 4-0. Sodbusters continue to lead it. There's action behind Phillips, and this one is bounced to the right side. Vega will charge. He sets, he throws in time. Runner advances, 2 outs. So Drew Vega, a couple of putouts here off the batted balls of the 7 and 9 place hitters.
That may have looked like a easy routine play, but charging in at full speed and then having to judge when it's going to hop off that wet infield is a lot tougher than you may think. So that just goes down as a 4-3 ground out. But credit Vega for getting the out there. The Sodbusters 1 out closer to escaping the 7th inning with no damage done, as we like to say.
Big swing, no contact. We believe this is Keegan Stobie. Stobie in there. He did wear 14. Now he's wearing number 1. Ellsworth Community College, his college, a Platteview High School grad, and he swings and misses here. 2 quick strikes on Stobie. 4-0. Phillips a strike away from getting out of this inning with no damage done. Puts it high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Keegan Stobie. Stobie 154, 2 out of 13 in the early going. 3 runs batted in, 2 runs scored. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Keegan Phillips gives up a 1-out double, but no problem as he bounces back with a ground out and a strikeout. And we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Stretch time here at Hastings. And it's Hastings 4 and the Prospects nothing. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
To the bottom half of inning number 7, Hastings Sodbusters do lead at 4-0. It'll be Causey, Johnston, and Crane against Isaac Borges. Borges coming in with 1 on, nobody out, so he's able to work around a 1-out walk to get the strikeout and the flyout to the top 2 hitters in the order, and now faces the heart Causey, Johnston, and Crane, all guys who've been swinging it well, looking for insurance, leading at 4-0. The Sodbusters need 6 more outs for an 8-0 start.
Now, perfect part of the lineup coming up. Luke Causey already with a hit today. Weston Johnston's got a pair of hits. Both of them extra bases hits. Jackson Crane with an extra base hit. You really like this part of the lineup to do some damage here in this home half of the 7th.
And what great experience for Borges. Just coming out of high school and Class A. Gets a chance at some college-level hitting right here. And the delivery, foul back. Luke Causey down to the count, no balls and 1 strike. Sometimes you go through high school and all the pitches that you can get for strikes, well, these guys can hit them sometimes. Going to have some defense behind you. No balls and a strike to Luke Causey. Causey with a single and a run scored back in the 3rd. He's lined out to center and he struck out looking. Previous at-bats coming against Cody Cizik, who would be the losing pitcher unless the prospects can rally. 1 ball and 1 strike on Luke Causey. Sodbusters on top 4-0.
Causey with his single in the 3rd with his 9th or his 12th hit of the season. He's now got a 6-game hitting streak to go along with it as well.
1-1 delivery, and that's way outside. 2-1 the count on Luke Causey. Sodbusters getting a successful inning from their right-hander, Chase Phillips. There is action in the Sodbuster bullpen. Causey takes this one the other way and fouls it over in that direction. And it will be a 2 ball and 2 strike count on Luke Causey. Hastings 4, Prospects nothing. Bottom half of inning number 7. Hastings looking for another win here. And a 3rd victory of the season for Creighton Jacobitz. Off speed, down and in. Prospect fans in attendance, and the players grumble about that. Not sure how many Prospect fans are here. I don't know if not many people made the trip from the Metro today to set in the rain. 3-2 pitch on the way. Bouncing ball to the right side. First baseman got it. Will throw to the pitcher covering. Borges over to grab the throw from Elijah Russell, and there's 1 out here in the 7th.
Bit of a tumble by Causey on his way by. Clipped the field umpire shot, but everybody okay. Credit for Causey busting it down the line, and credit the pitcher. Pitcher's fielding their position, able to get him over the cover.
Weston Johnston 2 for 3, a double, a run scored, a triple, a run batted in his first 2 at-bats. Then he was a strikeout victim of Cizik back in the 5th. We're now in the bottom of the 7th. Sodbusters 4 and Prospects nothing. High and outside, 1 ball and no strikes on Weston Johnston. He's a Texas guy and a Rangers fan. Don't ask him about the Astros. Not a fan. 0-1 delivery on the way. Suppose you're one or the other down there. And it's now 1 ball and 1 strike after the foul ball off the bat of Weston Johnston. Johnston, a nice addition to this Hastings Sodbuster team. Another one of the many Arkansas Tech Wonder Boys who are playing a big part in the Sodbuster success. 2-1 the count on Johnston. Ag business major. His dad's involved in crop insurance. Likes hunting, an outdoors guy. 2-1 the count. Righty-righty matchup as Borges brings it home. Johnston, a mile-high pop-up. That'll stay on the infield. Getting underneath it, making the grab. That will be Stobie, the new shortstop. And there are 2 outs in the inning for Jackson Crane.
It's like the Benchwarmers movie. Is that a home run? Yeah, in an elevator shaft. You mean just the swing that these 3 and 4 guys, Causey and Johnson, put on it? That ball probably came off really high off the bat. Just the too high of the launch angle there. Probably the hardest pop out you'll ever hit.
2 up, 2 down. You're really hoping for more from this spot of the order, but baseball is a game that you're just not going to get them every time. Jackson Crane trying to salvage the inning and make Borges work. Crane tried to check his swing, couldn't get it done as he's quickly down to the count. So he'll stand to the right-handed box and triple a run batted in his first at bat. He's since popped up and been hit by a pitch. Bounces this one right back to Borges. Nice job fielding his position. Underhand toss to first, and it's quiet 1-2-3 inning for Causey, Johnston, and Crane to end the 7th. Sodbusters lead it 4-0. We'll hear from Ryan when we come back. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Head of the 8th inning, the Hastings Sodbusters trying to put the finishing touches on a win over the Nebraska Prospects. They've out-hit the Prospects 7-3. They lead it 4-0. And to take you home, here's Ryan Valenta.
Thank you, Steve. Before we get started with this 8th inning and take a look at some other scores around the Independence League. Down in Fremont, it's the Moo having the 7-1 lead over Spearfish in the 5th inning. And then up in Casper, the Spuds are currently leading the Oahe Zap by a score of 4-3, and that is in the 4th inning. Sodbusters on top of the standings of the Independence League. Casper behind them at 5-3, 2.5 games back. Then it's Spearfish at 4-6, 4.5 games back, and then the Zap and the Moo 5 games behind the Hastings Sodbusters. Swing and a miss on the first pitch to the batter for the Nebraska Prospects. And this is the new guy that came in to pinch hit. That ball gets out of play to make the count 1-2. Jake Smolinski, the Gretna native, gets his, I believe, his first at-bat of the game. He came on as a defensive replacement in the, after Finn Hochstein struck out in the 5th inning. He'll take ball 1 upstairs. But Phillips with the heat on the fastball. He's sitting 83-85 on the heater, then dropping in a low 70-mile-per-hour curveball. Like that right there, just couldn't quite locate it over the strike zone. So Smolinski leading things off. One of the guys making his debut, and that's fouled back to the screen. Southeast Community College guy. Phillips, the Metropolitan Community College guy. Time is called. They waiting for the on-deck batter to grab that foul ball behind the plates. Sodbusters 2 innings away from putting the seal on this one. Fastball just below the knees for ball 3. So again, instead of having the weekend off, the Sodbusters will go for a single game against Fremont on Saturday. There's a ground ball to short. Shabry charging, gobbles it up, guns over to first, and the scoop by Greaves, and that's the first out of the inning. Good play by both sides to get the ever so important leadoff man.
Greaves doing a nice job hanging with it, and saw him unable to handle one earlier. I think it stopped raining, so maybe a little easier to handle the balls out there.
Yeah, the rain has ceased here, as it was sprinkling coming down here for the middle parts of the inning. But just wet concrete and a little bit of wet turf here. Hopefully that's it for the remainder of the evening. Now here's the batter, Avery Moore. Takes a fastball at the knees for strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Avery Moore, the Purdue University product. Another strike on the outside corner. Moore with a single back in the first. Since then, he's grounded out and walked and is 1 for 2. Phillips with the toss, gets him to chase outside. And Moore likely saying to the home plate umpire that I swung at that because you called that other one a strike. Not too happy about the call there, but Phillips with his second strikeout. So that is 2 up and 2 down in the 8th inning. Phillips has done a nice job. He's tired 5 batters. The only base runner to reach against him was that double. Pop up, but we'll get out of play. Some guys give it a look, but the ballpark not big enough to hold it. So the prospects, they will bid farewell to Hastings after this game. They will have tomorrow off and then visit Fremont on Saturday and Sunday. Pitch catches the zone, and Phillips is quickly ahead, 0-2 in this one. A ground out, a strikeout. Can Phillips get another one? This is Nikolai French, the pinch hitter as well. He came on as a defensive replacement for the catcher Corey Kozad. Nikolai French, an Omaha native. South Dakota State products, making his debut way up high over the head of the catcher Hilton. So some new faces for the prospects getting some playing time today. Trying to spark any sort of offense as they only have 3 hits in this contest. Good take on the ball downstairs, and French has worked the count from 0-2 to now 3-2. The wind from Phillips, got him swinging, blew it by him with the fastball. Another strikeout, the 3rd in 2 innings for Chase Phillips. And how about the Central Nebraska native from Aurora? Grew up not too far, just down the road, and he's pitched 2 scoreless innings. To the bottom of the 8th we go. Any insurance? We'll find out for the Sodbusters after the break.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here.
I feel better already. The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Bottom of the 8th inning. The Sodbusters with the 4-0 lead over the Nebraska Prospects. Nobody has scored anything since the bottom of the 4th inning. It's been all zeros since then. Last for the Sodbusters was that 4th inning RBI single from Jet Hannaford, who is due up 3rd this inning. Before him will be Graham Hilton and Jude Greaves. Still on the mound for the Nebraska Prospects is their second reliever of the game, Isaac Borges, who has quieted the Hastings offense since he came on after the first batter of the 6th inning. He's allowed a walk, but since then he has retired the last 5 batters he has faced. Graham Hilton to lead things off, Greaves and Hannaford to follow, then the bottom of the order, if anybody can reach in this inning. First pitch on the way is a ball outside to Graham Hilton, 1 for 3 today. The double in the 4th, and outside of that, a ground out and a strikeout. Pretty productive day for the Sodbusters offense. They've gotten just the right amount of what they've needed to do so far. 6 of their 9 hitters with the hits. Weston Johnston, the multi-hit game for the Sodbusters. 3 Sodbusters hitless this evening. Or just with the 1-1 with the breaking ball outside. We talk about just a change of scenery. You're going and playing high school baseball in a high school state championship just a couple of weeks ago, and now you're pitching against college level hitters. Big change there. Pitch was called a strike inside. Might have been just a bit off the plate according to our flight scope. Now Hilton has to fight with 2 strikes. serves it into shallow left field, and that'll fall for a base hit. Just a little blooper for Graham Hilton, and he's got a multi-hit game.
Yeah, you come in, you're scuffling, you get that double, and now a single, so all of a sudden you're feeling pretty good about things.
Hilton came in today's game 2 for 15. He's now 2 for 4. He has doubled his season hit total in this game alone. He's a guy that knows how to hit. North Oklahoma Eden, his sophomore season, hit .263 in his second season there. So perhaps this is the start of something bigger for the Sodbuster catcher. Let's hope that continues with Jude Greaves. Takes the ball downstairs. Saw Greaves get his first base hit as a Sodbuster in the last 6 innings. He was the final batter that the prospect starter Cody Cizik faced. Hilton away from first. Outside for ball 2. Borges now at 36 pitches. It's getting late by game standards, but this game moving pretty merrily along, especially in these past 3+ innings. Out of play, 2 balls and 1 strike. Next time that we will have a broadcast here at Duncan Field is going to be a week from tomorrow. Sodbusters with 4 games in Casper will be their first road trip of the season. They were supposed to play a game in Fremont on Tuesday that got rained out. The guys will get to pack up in the bus for the first time this season. There's another flare shot into the shallow outfield. That falls for a hit. Going first to third is Hilton. And how about Jude Greaves with a multi-hit game and getting his first hits as a Sodbuster.
All of a sudden, he's got a nice line. 2 for 3 in the contest. Also has a walk, and the Sodbusters not hitting it hard. Borges probably a little frustrated by this, but see if the 8 and 9 hitters can produce a run or 2 now for the Hastings Sodbusters.
So that is now 3 Sodbusters with multi-hit games. They've increased their hit total up to 9 on the contest. 8th place hitter, Jet Hannaford. He's got a hit and an RBI back in the 4th inning. He'll try to become the 4th Sodbuster with the multi-hit game today. But man, just a combined performance from the pitching staff and the offense. All 7 games now into their 8th game. Strike 1 called at the knees. It has just been, if any side has faltered, the other side has picked them up. Offense can't score. The pitching staff keeps them in the game. The pitching staff falters a bit. The offense repays the favor and puts some run on the board to keep them in the game. Time called by Hannaford, but just as complete as a Sodbuster team as we have seen in several years in the early parts of this season. Time called again. We're at a little bit of a standoff here at home plate. Hannaford finally ready to dig back in. 1st and 3rd, nobody out. Sodbusters would love to add on here. That's out of play down the right field line. No balls and 2 strikes on Jet Hannaford. 5 hits coming into today's game. Didn't play for ASU Mountain Home in the spring. But a guy who knows his head coach down in the third base box very well. Hilton at 3rd, Greaves at 1st. On the move from 1st, and the ball gets away from the catcher. Here comes Hilton, and no play at the plate. Little tap on the plate with the left hand of Hilton when he saw he wasn't going to have a play made on him. And the wild pitch leads to the 5th Sodbuster run. It was might have been a catchable pitch by the catcher Nikolai French, but he's a guy that's just into the game as a catcher, only his 2nd inning behind the plate. So Greaves down to 2nd, and Hannaford, now with the base hits, could give the Sodbusters another run. Pitch from Borges. That is laced into the gap, and going over is to the right fielder. He closes ground and makes the catch, does Jacob Perrin. Tagging at 2nd, advancing to 3rd is Greaves. That one had gap written all over it. Too much slice on that baseball, and it was almost a pretty routine play for Jacob Perrin.
Really good base running for Jude Greaves, who never hesitated. Got on that 2nd base bag, so he advances to 3rd with less than 2 outs. And Chase Miller, ground ball to a middle infielder, could get a 6th run home for the Hastings Sodbusters.
So the corner infielders will play a bit in. The infielders up the middle will stay put. Borges back to the windup. And outside, French saves the ball from going back to the screen. Just making sure that we're up to date on all of our defensive changes. Freshly into the game at shortstop is Keegan Stobie. He actually came in the last inning. And then Jake Smolinski, the new third baseman, has been in there for a couple of innings as well. Otherwise, the defense the same, besides Jacob Perrin in right field and French behind the plate for the Prospects. 1 ball and no strikes to Chase Miller. Still yet to put the ball in play today. Out of play, and correction, that was the 1-1 pitch to make it 1-2 now. Miller has struck out twice and walked once. Miller's only appeared in 2 games, but has a hit in each of those games. He needs a hit here to keep that brief streak alive. I'll see another pitch as that one's upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Graham Hilton leading off the inning with a single, coming around to score to make it a 5-run game. Way up high, and the count will run full 3-2. Borges from the wind on the payoff way outside, and that is ball 4. So Miller has worked walks in back-to-back plate appearances for him, and that'll bring up the top of the order in Drew Vega.
I wonder if Borges is nearing the end of his day. Almost 50 pitches thrown after dominating the 7th, 2 singles and a walk, and the 4 guys who've come to a plate, and the 1 out was a rocket off the bat of Jet Hannaford.
Well, Drew Vega, he had started off the season so good. He was hitting .500 after the first 4 games, went 8 for 16 since then. He is just 1 for his last 13 at the plate. Strike 1 at the knees to Vega. Today is just 0 for 1. Excuse me, he's 0 for 3. Scratch that. Hit by pitch, a couple of strikeouts, and a pop-out. You'd love to see Vega get in on the fun here with just anything over there. There's a line drive to center field, and there is that base hit. Greaves comes in to score, and Drew Vega a much-needed RBI single to give the Sodbusters the 6-run lead.
Right on cue as called it, got it into the outfield, brings home Greaves, and the Sodbusters not done. First and second, only 1 out. Really gives you a lot of pitching options. You put a couple of more runs out there. I think the plan probably was to put Phillips out for the 9th. That still may be plan A.
Now the Sodbusters only have that Saturday game, so they can be a little bit more liberal with their arms, just depending on who Coach Printer sends out there. But heck of a job. Scott Galusha told us he almost sees himself in Josh Printer, a very smart young man at the ripe age of just 23 years old. Knows a lot about baseball and has made the transition from player to coach very quickly. Again, if you haven't heard before, he was an assistant coach at ASU Mountain Home this spring, and due to unforeseen circumstances, him and another assistant coach ended up kind of being unofficial co-head coaches of the team in that spring. Double steals on, pitch a ball, throw to third is bounced in there, gets away from the third baseman, but not any farther enough to advance. A poor throw by Nikolai French. Otherwise, he might have had a play at third base, but there is the double steal with runners at first and second that we've seen quite often here in this homestand.
I was going to say 5 times maybe they've done that, and just the aggressive nature of the Hastings Sodbusters this year has been a heck of a lot of fun. They had 22 stolen bases for the year coming into today.
So with the 6-0 game, it's now 2 in scoring position for Jaden Shabry. Shabry's been walked twice and hit by a pitch. He's also flown out, and he'll take ball 2 upstairs. Borges now at 52 pitches. Again, we don't have an angle at the visiting bullpen down the line due to the playground obstructing things and the bleachers down there, so we're not sure if anybody's warming up. Out of play, down to the right side, over towards the concession stands. Another one of the many features of Duncan Field. It's not just hot dogs, nachos, and a sloppy burger. Tim Johnson and the concession people there do a great job of adding fresh new items to the menu weekly. Upstairs, 3-1. Love how we've got walking tacos here. That's a big doubleheader favorite, which we've had one of this year, and hopefully that's going to be the only one if the weather cooperates. Shabry facing the 3-1 count, way outside for ball 4. And it looks like Gabe Shemwell, the head coach, is going to make a visit out to the mound, potentially for a change. But the bases are loaded with only 1 out.
And you mentioned the concessions, and they'll bring it to you. They've got the app. You can just sit in your seat, put your little order right in. They have the intranet here, and they are able to read that off the intranet and bring the order right to you at your seat. It's amazing.
How unbelievable is that?
This
how
whole
far,
technology thing.
How far technology and
Yes.
service has gone. It's pretty awesome, to say the least. And that way, if you don't know what you want at the concession stands, you can look at the menu online, and saves the awkward when you get up to the screen. I'll have this. Actually, all that kind of stuff.
Although I am a little concerned, is it AI? Or are they going to actually just bring you food? Dave, I don't think you really need more ice cream, do you? You don't want. I don't want to be judged by this stadgum intranet. So hopefully they're not using that artificial intelligence thing. I've seen Terminator.
Yeah, that was the start of it, wasn't it?
Yep.
Who would have thought the movie Terminator, and now we've got AI making up completely fabricated images and videos on the internet.
No pitching change.
Well, back to planet Earth here at Duncan Field. The bases loaded with 1 out, and like Steve mentioned, no pitching change. Borges back out there. That was his 56 pitches in his debut today. Luke Cossey, he is the prime candidate to make this one hurt right here. Ground ball to first, off the glove of the first baseman, Russell. The second baseman recovers, gets the bag, and is the out recorded? Yes, it is. Cossey has retired. A little bit of a collision between him and Russell at first base, but credit Drew Borner for backing up the play to get the out. However, a run does score. You can give Luke Cossey the RBI to make it 7-0.
And a big credit to Elijah Russell, who could have given up on the play as well. It bounced off his glove, had the presence of mind to stumble back to first to get that throw from Borner to get the second out at 7-0 though.
So if you're scoring that at home, that goes down a 3-4-3 putouts and an RBI. Say no swing. They want to check out to the field umpire, and I don't think they're even going to. Well, it's second and third now with 2 outs for Weston Johnston, the 8th batter to come to the plate against Borges this inning. Way high to make it 2-0. Vega's at third, Shabry's at second. Sodbusters with 3 home here in this 8th inning, and we'll look to seal the deal in the top of the 9th. Borges with the long set, now the delivery. Mile high pop up again for Johnston. Coming in is Stobie at short, and the third baseman as well, and making the catch is Jake Smolinski near the catcher's box. And he makes the grab for the final out of the inning, but not before the Sodbusters add 3 more and have a comfortable 7-run lead entering the 9th inning. Final 3 outs headed your way after the break on Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings Sodbusters Baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate woodbat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters Baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner. A friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner.
Chase Phillips trying to salt this one away here at Duncan Field. 7-0 Sodbusters. 3 outs away from keeping their undefeated streak going at 8-0. Neil Diamond serenades the Sodbuster, the Duncan Field faithful here at the ballpark. Neil Diamond, 84 years old, and every time Sweet Caroline belts out in the 9th inning, you think, oh yeah, he's probably still doing stuff somewhere, but 84. That's baffling to me.
And the picture you showed me, I don't look that good, and I'm not 84 quite yet. So he's still got it going on for 84.
Had his 84th birthday back in January. And the Sodbusters will face the 5, 6, and 7 batters to come up here in the Prospects inning. Looks like we're going to start off with a pinch hitter for the Prospects instead of Drew Borner. This is, get this for a name, Ripken Fleck. Ripken Fleck, the pinch hitter at the plate, Omaha native, attends college at Augustana University. And Steve, I think you told me before the game, you confirmed he's after the great one, Cal. That's right?
Yep, Cal Ripken. That's why they call him Ripken. And he was destined to be a baseball player.
I mean, Ripken Fleck, that goes down on our list of all-time names here for the Independence League season. But Fleck, he's a guy that's going to be getting the at-bat here. He's seen some playing time. He's appeared in 5 games. He's appeared in all 5 games. This is actually his first day off for the Prospects. In those 5 games, a .316 average, 6 for 19 with a double and 3 runs driven in. Chase Phillips trying to send him back to the dugouts. A little number back to Phillips. He waits for it to come to him. The underhand toss is in time at first base. How about Chase Phillips setting down batter after batter here, trying to pitch the final 3 innings of scoreless baseball.
And tremendous composure there. A lot of times you'll see one bounce off the end of the bat. You'll charge it. You'll panic a little bit. He actually backed up to get us a good hop on it and made the strong throw to first.
That's now the 4th pinch hitter that the Prospects have used in this game. And here is the regularly scheduled hitter, the designated hitter, Aiden Martin. Martin 1 for 3 with a single and a pair of strikeouts. He was at odds with the home plate umpire after his last at-bat with the 6th inning. Gesturing after he was called out on strikes, and he'll have his 2nd hit of the day. Little line shot back up the middle into center field.
No panic here for the Hastings Sodbusters. That 3 in the 8th kind of taking the drama out of this one. There is right-handed action behind Chase Phillips, but trying to finish it up, 3 innings would get himself a save. He has been a very reliable reliever for this Hastings Sodbuster team since coming out of Metro Community College, Kansas City.
Now an 87 off the bat on the line drive single up the middle. And Martin aboard at first base for Elijah Russell. He smacks one into right center field. That's down for a hit. Going first to third is Martin, and now heading for second is Russell. Digging it out is Hannaford, and the throw back in is too late. A 1-out double for Elijah Russell, his first hit of the ball game.
One concern right now, they are seeing Phillips for the 2nd time, so I know we saw him one time earlier this year where you maybe went an extra inning with him to try to get more production and try to save another arm, and the 2nd time through the order is a little tougher, plus his pitch count elevating. We'll see if he can get the 8 and 9 hitters here.
And that actually snaps an 0 for 12 streak for Russell to start his season, his first hit as a Prospect in 4 games. So now Jackson Schumacher, the 8th place hitter, he's got a double today. Also reached on an error. Phillips downstairs, again he was mid-80s with the fastball. But you always get a better advantage for the hitter at the plate the 2nd time that they see them throughout the game. 2-0 from Phillips. Right back over to the box next to us. That one had a loud sound off the facade of it. And a young little fan will end up with that souvenir after it's fortunately missed everyone. 2-1 Jackson Schumacher downstairs, 3 balls and 1 strike. The bullpen continues to get hot. Hitters counts. Grounded foul back to the screen. It's a full count. Barring a bizarre double play, the 9th place hitter Jacob Perrin is scheduled up next, who does have the bat in the on-deck circle. Again, this Prospects roster not too big right now, so they probably don't have too many more options on the bench way high for ball 4, and the runner will stay put at third base. Not wanting to risk potentially getting caught at home plates. It is a walk to Schumacher, and here comes Josh Printer from the dugout.
You'd like to see Phillips finish it, but I also don't want to see him lose any kind of confidence. So this will be an interesting conversation here with the bases loaded and only one man out of the number 9 hitter at the plate. He did face Perrin as Perrin came in as a pinch hitter in the 7th and grounded out against him.
So it'll be bases loaded with 1 out, but still a very comfortable lead for the Sodbusters. And how big do those 3 insurance runs look right now? If they go down in order or do not score, then that would mean the tying run coming to the plate. But still plenty of batters to go before they do that. Well, big leads can get squandered at any moment. For example, my Atlanta Braves today squandering a 6-run lead in the top of the 9th inning against the Diamondbacks to lose it 11-10. Go on ESPN, they have a little out by outs, the win probability percentage. Because you can probably imagine, after the first out was recorded in the 9th inning, a 99.9 win probability percentage, which Diamondbacks made that 0.1 percentage happen this afternoon.
You know, it's 7-0. I really don't want to hear that story right now, Ryan Valenta. Maybe, hopefully that's the only one of those kind of games today. So the odds are with the Sodbusters, and I am stunned that they're playing the infield in.
Yeah, they've got the second baseman playing back. And hold on, now we've got another visit to the mound, and hold on, now this does mean a pitching change. Second visit to the mound requires a pitching change, so perhaps just a strategy move to get the right-hander in the bullpen just a little bit extra time. So Chase Phillips will depart with 1 out in the 9th inning. He got the leadoff man out, but since then a walk, a double, and a single. So new Sodbuster pitcher is on. Take a short break, and we'll have that right after these.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here.
I feel better already. The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Pitching change for the Sodbusters. They turn to their third arm of the day, second reliever of the day. Bases loaded and 1 out. And the Busters will call upon one of the recent high school graduates, Brock Cross. The Lake Havasu City, Arizona native will be on for the second time in as many games for the Sodbusters. He pitched the final inning against Fremont on Monday, pitched a inning of scoreless relief. That was when he came into the game with the Sodbusters trailing 6-4, and then after they walked it off, he ended up getting the win in his debut. The Moo went 3 up and 3 down against him, but his high school numbers on both sides of the ball absolutely insane. At Lake Havasu High School, had a .494 average as a hitter, but then as a pitcher his senior season, 17 innings pitched, a 0 ERA with 27 strikeouts and just 2 walks.
He can play. I think we'll keep him.
That'll play.
Yeah.
I think that'll play. Well, nonetheless, no matter what happens in this 9th inning, Sodbusters have some room to work with, but would love to keep that 0 on the scoreboard. 11 hits for the Sodbusters, 5 for the Prospects, 2 of them coming in this inning. So Martins at third, Russell at second, and Schumacher at first. The first pitch from Cross is lined softly into center field. Coming on is Hannaford. It drops for a base hit. Everybody will move station to station. The ball gets away in the infield and will have no further advance, though. It's an RBI single by Jacob Perrin on the first pitch that he sees, and for the third time, the The Sodbuster pitching staff loses a shutout in the final inning of play, but they've still got the 7-1 lead.
Brock Cross doing what he can and really kind of feel bad. Made a good pitch, just a little looping liner, and Perrin coming through. Now bases still loaded, back to the top of the order. I'd take another contact like that if you're Cross and the Sodbusters.
So it's Keegan Stobie, the next batter. Gets the called strike at the bottom part of the zone and the outside parts. Stobie thinking that one might have been outside of the zone. A few of the prospect hitters throughout the evening have seemingly disagreed with some of the calls. Same pitch, same result. Called a strike at the knees. 2 strikes to Keegan Stobie. He pinch hit in the 7th, did not start the game, and he struck out. That was back against Phillips. 0-2 from Cross, right there for strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. 3 pitches right by Stobie for the strikeout from Cross.
I know Plan A coming into the summer was maybe Nate Fisher being your closer, but you really like Brock Cross and what he can do in the 9th inning, and coming in and throwing some heat. He has been fun in his first 2 appearances.
Cross has topped out at 88 in that at-bat against Stobie. He's now trying to save the game, or extend the game at least, is Jake Smolinski for the Prospects. Takes strike 1 on the outside corner. Smolinski came on as a pinch hitter in the 8th and grounded out to the shortstop. Low and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Sodbusters going for gold in their gold uniforms here to keep their season at a perfect record. Cross staring in for the sign against Smolinski. Making his Prospects debut. 1-1. Wave and a miss, strike 2. And Hastings a strike away. Bases still loaded. But Cross ahead, 1-2. The slow clap starts in the stands. Line drive hit deep to center field. Going over is Hannaford. He's measuring it up. He's able to get it in center field. The Busters are scorching hot, and they do it again as they end a perfect homestand with 8 wins and no losses. What a job for this Hastings offense to propel them to their 8th win of the season and hold the Prospects just to their 1 measly 9th inning run. For Hastings, they will head to the weekend still undefeated against the Fremont Moo on Saturday. Plenty to talk about in the post-game show. We'll have that for you here on Sodbuster Baseball as the Sodbusters win it by a score of 7-1.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen, a tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back, or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. FiskChiropracticSportsClinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Final score on our post game, it's the Hastings Sodbusters 7 and the Nebraska Prospects 1. How about it, a perfect 8-0 homestand to start off the season? I mean, we've seen our fair share of losses here at Duncan Field over the past few years, and still yet to see one this year, but a third different opponent that the Sodbusters have beaten. Not just beaten up on one opponent, but really good start to get it at an 8-0 score. Steve, I think the key tonight, I mean, obviously we turn to the attention of Creighton Jacobitz, his third consecutive quality start. Guy who knows to pitch on the mound, and the offense paved the way for him afterwards.
Just a good team effort. I mean, and nice to have a game without drama. I mean, kind of jumped out, pretty well controlled things. You got good relief pitching and a relatively routine 7-1. I could get used to this.
Yeah.
Doing 7-1 all the time. Jacobitz, you mentioned, another good start, and people are going to say, oh, how disappointing. He gave up 2 hits after giving up no hits in his first 13-plus innings, but this may have been his best outing as he limited the free passes today, didn't hit anybody, just walked a couple. There was a couple of errors behind him. He committed another error, but that inning where he committed an error puts a runner at third, nobody out, gets the next 3, gets out of it. That was one of the key moments in the game when the Sodbusters were leading at 4-0. If that inning unravels, then it could turn out a little differently, but put another 0 on the board, and Hastings doing a lot of things well. And you mentioned the offense today with some 12 hits. Really good job for this Hastings Sodbuster team to rack up the offense, to go along with solid pitching and just a good team performance.
And back to that moment, too, that you mentioned back in the 6th. Moore gets on first base. They try to pick him off, throw it down the right field line, and then going down to third base. Then he gets a pop-out, a line-out, and a strikeout, especially with Jacobitz's pitch count mounting, too, as well. Not an easy time to just lock in and think, oh, man, I can maybe get this final out. So, no, he bared down and got that final out there, and he was dynamite here this evening for his 3rd win in as many games for the Sodbusters. Let's look at those numbers now for both sides. Sodbusters with their 7 runs on officially 10 hits according to Game Changer. They did make 4 errors on defense. Multi-hit games for Weston Johnston, Graham Hilton, and Jude Greaves. Hilton and Johnston with doubles. Jackson Crane and Johnston with a triple in the game as well. Also hits for Drew Vega, Luke Cossey, Jackson Crane, and Jet Hannaford. Hannaford, Johnston, Cossey, and Vega with the RBIs for the Hastings Sodbusters. Jacobitz gets the win after pitching 6 scoreless innings after just allowing 2 hits. So now in his mark in 19 innings pitched, he's only allowed 2 hits and 2 unearned runs this season. Phenomenal. 2 walks and 8 strikeouts for him. Chase Phillips comes on and allows just that 1 run in the 9th that was charged to him. 2 hits, 2 1/3 innings, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Brock Cross gets the final 2 outs of the game, going 2/3 of an inning, allowed 1 hit, and struck out 1. Nebraska Prospects just with 5 hits. They had 2 errors on defense. Avery Moore with a hit for the Prospects, with a multi-hit game for Aiden Martin. Jackson Schumacher with a hit, and Jacob Perrin also with a hit. Cody Cizik suffers the loss, going 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Isaac Borges in relief, a no decision. 3 runs on 3 hits, 3 walks, and a strikeout. Nebraska Prospects off until Saturday against Fremont, and I guess they're going to have to change that because maybe they're going to do a little doubleheader action. The Prospects will play 1 game against Fremont, and the Sodbusters will play in Fremont because that's what it says according to Game Changer. And if we heard Scott Galusha right, he told us that they're going to do their makeup game against Fremont, which is rained out Tuesday in Fremont on Friday or Saturday, so that could be a doubleheader action there. We'll confirm that just to be sure. Of course, stay up to date with our social media to figure out about that. Well, we talked about all the good stats there, Steve, and the pitching and the hitting as well. I really like the bats today, too, playing really good Duncan Field baseball. The big shots, they came from the big guys, and then also lots of situational hitting, too. What do you have to say about the hitting?
Well, first of all, Hilton and Greaves, really nice to see those 2 guys who are really scuffling. I mean, we've seen so much out of Cossey and Johnston, but to see Hilton and Greaves both come through with multi-hit games, 2 guys who were maybe not hitting it the way they want to hit it. Hilton gets the double, 2 runs scored. Greaves goes 2 for 3 with a run scored. Those 2 guys in particular, to see them go really nice on the offensive side. And from a pitching standpoint, you maybe see roles kind of start to be defined. You've got Chase Phillips, who's been a very reliable reliever, maybe your 7th and 8th inning guy, and then Brock Cross. Oh, my goodness, if you can bring 88 out of the pen for 10 or 12 pitches, that's going to lock down most teams in the Independence League. So that you really like that option. Now, some of the other guys deeper in the bullpen, you'd like to see them get some opportunities, but in a lot of ways, you wouldn't like to see them get those opportunities, because if you're getting it done with your starters and if you get the reliable relievers, you just got to kind of go team baseball. And when you're playing, 21 games in 21 days, there will be opportunities for everyone to get plenty of innings before this summer is done.
Well, just like you mentioned, you want to stick with your tried and true guys, but you never know. You may find another diamond in the rough. You just never know until you put those guys in. But Chase Phillips, Brock Cross, Creighton Jacobitz have been dynamite. We've seen Derek Rocket make a couple of starts, so curious to see how they use him in the future. He's shown he's a starter, but he could definitely be a long reliever of some sorts as well, and just have to see how that plays out. But in the early month of June, the Sodbusters have their one game this weekend, and then it is go time, starting with their away series on June the 9th on Monday, here in a couple of days, all the way until June 26, barring a rainout. No rest for the weary. 17 games in 17 days for the Hastings Sodbusters, as they've had most of their off days as of recent. 4-game series against Casper Monday through Thursday, and then next Friday through Sunday, the 13th through the 15th, they bring Casper here, which will be our next broadcast. Then a road series against Oahe and Spearfish the Monday after that, and back home to get the Plainsmen and then the Prospects. So a very busy month of June for the Hastings Sodbusters, but just with the way they've been going, they've been able to spread out pitchers. One thing that we haven't seen is guys just consistently having good starts left and right. Creighton Jacobitz, another good start tonight to keep the bullpen kind of in check, knowing that, hey, we're just going to need 2 guys to go out for the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings and divvy them up through there. I think the biggest thing for the Sodbusters has been keeping track of their pitching well, especially with not having all the arms that they thought they were going to have at this point in the season.
Yeah, it was funny when you think back to the day number 1 conversation when Scott Galusha says, we lost this guy, we lost this guy, we lost this guy. I don't know how we're going to make it through this first week, basically, with the pitching. And, well, I think they've got a lot of surprises. Most notably Creighton Jacobitz. Here's a guy who threw only, 6 innings, 5 2/3 innings at Cloud County, and 3 quality starts, and he's off to a 3-0 start for this Hastings Sodbuster team.
And off to an 8-0 start in his first campaign as a head coach. Head coach Josh Printer, another great win for you guys tonight, 7-1. First off, a lot of good things to talk about. What was your favorite part about the win this evening?
We set a tone early. Creighton continues to pitch very well, continue to go right at them, limit free bases, and 2 hits in the last 3 games. So all the confidence you can see in his eyes, he's got all the confidence in the world. But just continue to just play how we've been playing and just take it one day at a time.
And Jacobitz gave up the 2 hits, but I was theorizing this may have been his best outing, just 2 walks and overcoming a couple of adverse innings where he put zeros on the board when it looked like they were going to get to him.
Absolutely, just kept throwing, kept trusting his defense. Kind of booted a couple balls early in the game, but just kind of picked his teammates up and just kept going at them. You
guys are putting great swings on the ball tonight. A couple of triples, and I don't know if I've seen a team have more triples than doubles and home runs combined through their first 8 games of the season. But Duncan Field, a prime candidate for that. Just what were the guys seeing at the plate, and how were they able to be so successful tonight?
Just continue to stick with the same approach. What ain't broke, don't fix it, and just having a plan and trusting our plan. And playing at Duncan Field, the whole triple situation is our Sodbusters and everyone who plays here is kind of having your outfielders pretty shallow. So anything that burns them, they usually usually a stand-up double ends up turning into a triple just because it's so deep at Duncan Field.
Get double digits in hits, but talk a little bit about Graham Hilton and Jude Greaves, 2 guys scuffling a little bit, both multi-hit games today toward the bottom of the order.
Absolutely. We kind of talked to both of them before the game, and just don't stray away. Don't whenever things aren't going your way, just just even keep it more simple. I know I use the word simple all the time, but even like don't overcomplicate it. It's gonna fall. It's a game of baseball. I mean, you end up having a blooper fall in, then hitting a line drive right at someone. And I told Graham before the game, just try to see how many hard hit ground balls are short you can have today. And his second AB ended up lacing a line drive in the left center gap. So.
All right, just to make sure that we heard Scott right in the 5th inning, you guys are going to make up a game in Fremont on Saturday. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right.
It'll be Fremont's playing. They have a doubleheader. They play us, and then they'll play Prospects.
Okay.
But, 7-inning game starting at 4 o'clock.
Okay, 7-inning game at 4 o'clock, and then after that, you get to go on the road for the very first time this season, a 4-game series for Casper, and you kind of theorize, you don't really know, and you know as well, that first road trip of the year. So how do you prepare to get these guys on the road for the first time with their 4-game road series coming up in the next week?
Just keep reminding them that there's no reason to change anything. Yeah, we're playing in a different field, but the game stays the same, and just come out ready to go take it from someone, and especially Casper, they can swing it 1 through 9 pretty well, and just continue to just play how we've been playing, and just take it one game at a time.
All right. I know it's business in baseball, but you guys are going up to Casper. You're going up to the spacious part of the northern part of the country. You guys have any sightseeing planned up there on your road trip?
Little less. I want to say no. I think I was thinking South Dakota where Mount Rushmore is, but I don't really remember if we've done anything the last 2 years in Casper, Wyoming. But no, I mean, I think the funnest part of this team so far is they love playing the game of baseball. So I think we'll be more focused on that and just setting a tone early, setting tone for that series. And I think they're really focused on that, myself included. And yeah, I don't know if we end up figuring out something, but that'll probably be on Andy. Andy will probably hopefully figure something out there. But yeah, just going up there to play some baseball and just have fun.
Well, it's going to be weird not seeing you for 8 days, but we wish you the best of luck in Fremont this weekend and Casper, and hope that we can still talk to you maybe on an undefeated streak, but nonetheless, play some great baseball.
Awesome. I appreciate you guys.
Thanks to head coach Josh Printer, and Sodbusters hit the road for the first time this weekend in Fremont on Saturday. You heard it here first. Doubleheader with the Prospects, so I'm assuming they will be the first game of a twin bill, and it's probably good to get the Sodbusters back home a little bit quicker in anticipation for their road series against Casper, but then 4 games on the road, and we will not see them back here at Duncan Field against Casper until Friday the 13th. Oh boy, so the first game for us, or the next game for us, will be 8 days from now. Steve Stein, it's been a lot of fun in this 8-game homestand, but got a lot of weekend to catch up, and man, I'm just glad we're talking, can't believe we're talking at an 8-0 record after this homestand.
And the biggest series of the season really coming up for this Hastings Sodbuster team. Really, if you find a way to go 4-3, 5-2, you may almost clinch the first half title. If Casper finds a way to get 6 out of 7, we've got ourselves a battle here the final couple of weeks, the first half of the season. It's weird to think that, but where Hastings has put itself, that could be a pivotal part of this first half.
All right, that's going to do it for us here at Duncan Field. Steve Stein, myself, Ryan Valenta, our awesome producers and engineer guys, Mason, Connor, and Noah. We'll always appreciate their hard work making this broadcast possible. Well, we'll see you next in 8 days on Friday the 13th. Until then, go Busters on the road. I'm Ryan Valenta. Have a happy rest of your Thursday night.
Catch the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Get the ultimate fan experience at a Hastings Sodbuster game this summer. Enjoy high-level collegiate summer wood bat baseball at the beautiful and historic Duncan Field in Hastings. Baseball and a whole lot more. Affordable family fun. That's what the Sodbusters and the Independence League are all about. Sodbuster Baseball. It's your team.
Catch the spirit.